Let me give you more reasons to follow the homie Sil for the latest news, scoops, and moves he's about to reveal. From coffee talks to special brews, I'm out of burgers for meals. A cup of bourbon with that tea that's about to get spilled. Like, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. Take out your pen and paper, sit down and take notes. Sil is the realest among imposters, scavenging cutthroats. So, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show, let's go. Between DC and Marvel, they both have a startle. Disney's moving finicky, let's not mention Star Wars. All these movie execs be drunk off their power, disconnected from the fans in the ivory towers. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. When they keep making the same mistake, that's what you call insanity. They can't even acknowledge their self-inflicted calamity. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show, let's go. Scoop Senator, coffee talks, also covering analytics, making his own reviews, cause it's always been the critics. They clout chasers, money driven, repeating the latest gimmick. Come over to Sil Nation where true vision is given. Listen, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. Let's not forget Mikey's son, always special to the crew. From day one when him and Sil got together for special brew. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show, let's go. I guess I'll finish on this note. When the niggas go flip mode, they turn gremlins, I'm gizmo. Come from my people, my kinfolk. For them I ride for and kill for. With this pistol I'm skillful. Shit can really escalate till it all goes abysmal. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. I'm a watchman, forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show, let's go.
All right. We are here for the big show this Saturday. I told you about my schedule, man. Oh, let's fix this camera a little bit. All right, get me in focus here. Much love to Sil Nation. Yo, y'all got to be ready for these Saturday streams. We're gonna have them scheduled in advance around this time every weekend, unless something comes up. And then during the week, we're gonna do what we do. Now, during this previous week, I had to work a little extra with a day job, so I couldn't pop in during the week. But we're gonna have some pop-up streams during, coffee talk during the week. We're gonna have the weekend stream around this time, Saturdays, and it's gonna be a different assortment of things we're gonna do. So very excited for that. We got some members updates to do as well. Again, much love to Sil Nation. We are here for this big show stream. You see the topics right here. You see the topics. We're on X Twitter. Much love to X Twitter. On Twitter to support the platform. Watch the stream, comment, share it. Much appreciated. Also, you can go to the profile page. There's ways to donate to the platform and support as well, too. You already know we're on YouTube on the main podcast channel. So smash a like. Make sure you are still subscribed. Make sure those notifications are coming in because, you know what I'm saying, YouTube's been kind of a little finicky But be ready by this time every Saturday. We definitely want to have a flagship day to do. And Saturdays is the time. So, again, you see the main topics. We're going to talk some little Thunderbolts. Some mild spoilers. I mean, I guess we'll go all in. We're actually going to go all in and spoil everything in Thunderbolts. Deadpool X-Men, The Sinners Extravaganza, DC Studios, and James Gunn clapping back at his haters. What is James Gunn doing? We're going to talk about that. I swear, bro. Yo, this is going to be kind of crazy. This is going to be kind of a crazy stream for sure. And, yo, let's see. We got W. Mir. Thunderbolts was mid. I would say it was a little over mid. We're going to talk about that. Actually, we're going to actually go right into the Thunderbolts conversation. And I'm just telling you right now, we're going to make sure these streams are scheduled in advance. So y'all know y'all need to be here at this time of the day on Saturdays, because we come with a big stream every weekend. Yeah, again, unless, some personal stuff comes up, you know what I'm saying? We try to, business first, but we are here. Thunderbolts, I got a chance to see it. It was very interesting. We're about to talk about that. It's better than the Suicide Squad. Yeah, no, I agree. Oh, wholeheartedly, I agree. Thunderbolts was better than James Gunn's Suicide Squad. Oh, that's not even... I know there's fans. I know there's fans of the Suicide Squad. I made my thoughts pretty clear about what I thought Gunn. Now, he's supposed to kind of switch it up with his new DCU. We'll see. We'll see what he does with the Suicide Squad, Secret Six, all of that stuff, right? We're going to talk about it all, man. But again, we got some DC stuff. Superman, James Gunn clapping back. This is going to be a very interesting stream overall. So, as we get into this, W. Mir, I see you. Another 2 was up there earlier. Y'all got to be ready on these Saturdays, man. This is when we're going to hit y'all with a lot of stuff. And then during the week, I'll have either some streams or some uploads. Man, we in a really good place creatively overall. So we're going to be hitting y'all with a lot. So without further ado, let's get into, before we get into the topics here, I got a few things I want to hit y'all with. Let's see. One thing. This was okay. It was free comic book day. Hold on, I gotta show you my comic books. Hold on. We went to the local shop. Let's see. Let's get the. I should have had this ready. There's so many L's. There's so many L's. There's so many L's. Let's see. Comic book. All right, free comic book day. All right, let's get that up here. So I hope some of y'all, again, the core of my channel, we're comic book readers. This camera's like driving me wild. We're comic book readers, so we go to the source material with this content. So I got some dope stuff. Free comic book day. Now, first, okay, let's do the free stuff first, right? It wasn't much but if you got the free comics, if you went to your local shop, there was a couple collectibles. Now, this may end up being like, this may be some value to some of these free comics, but you got the DC stuff that they did, and this may not show up right. Oh, here we go. You got the all-in. I got the special white cover of this free comic book day all-in DC. All you gotta do is walk into the shop and grab it. This was the last one actually that was available. And it gave you a preview of the new Superman Unlimited, right? So, and I ended up getting 3 copies of the same comic. So I got that white cover. Then I got the foil cover of the same thing. All right, you got Superman Unlimited. It's kind of dope. It actually looks kind of dope right now. And the regular cover of that was this here. That's the regular cover. If you went to your comic shop, you probably saw this one. I got two, I guess, variant covers of that. So I don't know, I may get like $5 from that, like a couple years from now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's all a business. But the funny thing with Free Comic Book Day is it's not about the free comics. It's about just go ahead and stock up what you want to actually read. So I got the Absolute Wonder Woman. I've been telling people, they say, yo, sylabdul, what are you reading with comics? Absolute Wonder Woman is top 3 best comic on the rack right now. Kelly Thompson, I think that's her name, that's writing this. And I was hard on Kelly Thompson with her Birds of Prey stuff. But she's doing some quintessential Wonder Woman stuff. So I got to give love. I always give credit where it's due. This is one of the best comics on the rack right now. Absolute Wonder Woman. Yeah, just read it. Don't even front. She's better than the Tom King run. And I ain't trying to like trip on Tom King too much, but Kelly Thompson has the best Wonder Woman on the rack every week right now. Now, outside of that, you got the Hush series. Hush 2 is going on right now. So I already had this one. That was part 1. You got part 2 with Jason Todd. Batman Hush 2. That's Jeff Loeb. That's Jim Lee coming back. Like, people remember the classic Hush story, which was a weird story with Hush, but this one, 2 issues, actually pretty good Batman stuff so far. It's just treated as an Elseworld story. It's not like some kind of main continuity stuff. What else I got? Comic Book Day. Again, this is stuff we purchasing. We got Predator versus Spider-Man. This cover is nuts. I saw the cover. I said, I got to get this. Predator, Spider-Man. Yeah. Give me Spider-Man is probably the number 1 comic character in the world. Batman actually is Batman. It's Batman. And number 2 is Spider-Man. Right? And so they got this Predator. So I had to pick that up because I heard people reading that and it was like, oh, it's dope. And then I got this Godzilla. We got Spider-Man versus Godzilla. Now this cover's crazy. This one, I'm inversed. This cover's crazy right here. Hold on. Got the Wall Crawler versus, what is it? The King of Monsters. This cover's nuts, right? So it's the same issue. I got 2 of the same issue, but this here, this cover's so nuts. I was like, I had to grab it just because it was a dope cover. And then this is another cover. Same thing. Spider-Man, Godzilla. We got the symbiote. You see the symbiote Spider-Man. So I was like, okay, you do symbiote Spider-Man. I gotta grab it, right? Like, what are we doing here? So I got 2 of the same issue, but I like this cover. That's why I grabbed it, right? So that's one thing. Outside of that, you got the Doom. You know, Marvel's pushing Doom. One World Under Doom. You know, you got RDJ back, so you know they're doing comics of Doom. So I got issue 1 of that. I haven't read that yet. I heard a little mixed reviews of that whole run. That is what it is. Let's step out of Marvel DC a little bit. Go to Image Comics, do Transformers and G.I. Joe. It's not just Marvel DC, folks. All right, there's good comics outside of that too. So, let me know in the comments below. Doom, that's wild. What comics y'all picked up for this weekend, and we'll talk about that more during the week as well too. So we're gonna make a lot of trips to the comic shop when I get a chance, and we'll talk about it. Now, before we get to the topics, people probably saw on social media I was teasing the interview with the Culture Nerd. Culture Nerd definitely have an interesting history with that platform. and we're all good. We got a chance to actually sit down and kind of talk a little bit. And so that interview is going to be dropping during the week as well. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. TV is better than. Oh yeah. No. It's no. I don't think it's any argument in my sense, but some people. Yeah, it's better than Black Widow for sure. But Thunderbolts is a pretty good film. It's a pretty good popcorn film. Like I can't even front with what I saw in that film. Didn't enjoy it as much as Wakanda Forever. Really, that's wild. I like Thunderbolts better than Wakanda Forever. I mean, maybe the Cougar isms got you through Wakanda Forever, but I think Thunderbolts is a better film. It could be my second favorite Marvel movie with a female lead after Black Panther 2. Interesting. I'm going to pick up that Nemesis comic. Oh, for sure. No, you already know. What we're doing with we got to support that Rebel Moon franchise. They got spinoffs and things that they're trying to do with that IP as well. So for sure, you got to support that. No doubt. And when I pick up I got some of the Blood Axe comics as well. So Black Panther 3 is going to be the greatest. That's going to make so much money. And we're going to talk about Sinners later. But Ryan Coogler as a director, I told people last week, I said, yo, my journalist friends, when they went to go see Sinners when it opened a couple weeks ago, they was like, oh, crap. Like, it was like Coogler is on Nolan level. I was like, whoa. I was like, hey, Nolan's like the current king of theater right now as far as director. And it was like Coogler's there before I saw Sinners. And when I saw Sinners, I was like, oh, I see what they're saying. I was like, oh, Coogler, if he gets more money and he's gonna get more money than Nolan to do Black Panther 3, right? Nolan doesn't do franchise films anymore. So he doesn't get as much money as Disney would give Coogler. So Coogler's gonna get $300 million to do Black Panther 3. I mean, just that's the ceiling, right? That film's gonna be ridiculous. Like whatever story Coogler's thinking of for Black Panther 3, it's gonna be ridiculous. He's got unlimited resources. And he's the hottest director in the game right now as well. And Marvel is coming, lapping back around from failing from phase 4. Thunderbolts, if y'all see Thunderbolts, y'all know Marvel's back. Marvel's back. Don't front. No, we don't do that. We don't do that on my platform. We don't front when people get a win. Marvel's back. And you put that with Coogler, the hottest director right now. You're talking about 1.2 to 5 billion. You know what I'm saying? No, W. Mirror. What I said up, he can get an unlimited budget. That's the point. That's the point I'm saying. When you're dealing with Disney and Marvel, you're going to need at least $200 million for that film. If he needs $300 million, they will give it to him. That's the point. That's the point. Yeah, Black Panther 3 is going to be nuts. Right? Interesting stuff. I was talking a little bit about before I get to the topics, because we're going to talk about Thunderbolt spoilers. We're just going to spoil it. You know what I'm saying? And actually, let's see. Hold up. I had an article I was going to touch on. Hold up. We got some L's. I gotta catch up real quick. Because we're going to talk about Thunderbolts. We're going to talk about the ramifications of that as well too, and the post-credit scenes, the post-credit scenes of Thunderbolt. We're going to talk about that today. So I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to get spoiled a little bit today. This Marvel, so you know what I'm saying. Let's talk about it. So before we get to the topics, I've been teasing the Culture Nerd interview, and it's going to release sometime this week. But I want to play a little excerpt of that because it's some very interesting comments regarding Matt Reeves' Batman and things of that nature. So let me throw this up here real quick.
It's a very rough situation for Matt.
Hold on. We're gonna throw this right here. Culture Nerd interview is releasing sometime this week. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure notifications are on, and we're going to talk about that definitely when the time comes for that. So let's play this. He talks a little bit about Matt Reeves' Batman. We talked about a lot of stuff with DC.
It's a very
CBM genre as well. Shout out to Neo Sevens. Like, subscribe, share. That's going to be a pretty interesting interview. It was really cool, kind of connecting back. You know, that's how I started. Let me jump back up here. Hold up, because I don't think people understand. This is how I kind of started my, social media, my type of content that I did. I started with the Culture Nerd. Lightcast was the catalyst of that. And we kind of talk about that in this interview. So it's dropping this week. And but I got an excerpt again about Matt Reeves' Batman situation. If people realize the Culture Nerd, he has ties to Warner Brothers. So people have a lot of talk about what they think's happening with Reeves' Batman, with what they want to happen with this. But I always talk about what is happening. All right. We got to make this clear. I know I've been busy this past week. I've been working a little extra. So I ain't got a chance to hit y'all with some stories, but we're going to set things straight when I'm live for sure. So this clip here, again, is talking about Matt Reeves' Batman. Let's talk about that. Let's listen in, and then we'll get to our topics.
It's a very rough situation for Matt Reeves, and it's all on Matt Reeves.
Some personal stuff, going on.
Deeply personal. I think what Grace Randolph did the other day, where she kind of implied what was going on. Shame on her for even putting people into the mindset, because Matt Reeves is not sick. There's
right. This is not a Chadwick Boseman situation.
The situation is similar, but it's not similar enough to make that comparison.
Right.
So Matt Reeves has basically been given a promise by James Gunn and Peter Safran that if he wants to walk away, they can close the universe and let him go take it with him. It's his baby. If he wants to end it, he can end it. And I think fans need to stop blaming James Gunn and Peter Safran for whatever they think they're doing. The only thing that they're doing is giving this man a promise that they will let him have control over his universe. They're not taking it from him. So if he wants to take another 5 years, he's allowed to, because it's on him.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and you probably heard of, as far as what's going on with the situation, and that's the main thing, is the personal nature of it. I stopped digging at that point when I found out the personal nature. I was like, okay, that's enough.
I found out what happened about a year ago, and and then when this all came up, they kind of were like, yeah, no, this is still a thing that's happening. This is still happening.
On top of that, he's a notoriously slow writer too. Just Matt Reeves is.
He's a slow writer, and
you couple all that together.
You had the writer strikes, the Hollywood strikes. You had all these things that were stopping everything. But even if that, like, there's a family situation that he has lost all. Like, there is, if I have a family, and if my family was going through something similar, I would have been like, I'm done, guys, I'm done. But like, he's wanting to keep working. He's wanting to keep going, to keep that side of his life functional. So like, let him have his time, guys. Like,
he could take his time. Now, last thing I'll kind of throw to you then, before we close, let's say that because I think we both believe he's going to do that film, no matter what day that is. Yeah. Check out the full interview. That was a little excerpt of the Matt Reeves Batman part of it. And then we go into the history with the Culture Nerd and DC, Snyderverse. One of my favorite interviews I did. Interview series, sylabdul interview series that's dropping during this week coming up. I didn't realize, like, culturally how that would have hit certain people. Me and Culture Nerd, Taylor Murphy, we've been good for the last couple of years. Like even when I was streaming with Mikey, we talked about the past stuff and stuff like cast, and we've actually been good behind the scenes. But it was I told him I was like, I think like the streets need to see us on the camera together, and then we made that happen. So looking forward to y'all enjoying that interview. Upcoming this week. That's gonna be a really fun time for sure. And again, however you watching this, if you're on YouTube, smash the like, make sure you still subscribe. This is the big show. We got a lot to talk about today. I don't know what y'all thought y'all signing up for today. But when I'm live, you're gonna get a full experience. All right. So let's go. All right. And if you're on X Twitter, like the stream, share the stream, comment on the stream. You already know. Let's get into the topics that we have here. Because I got a lot to talk about today. Y'all should know at this point, man, how much we're gonna go in on this stream today. But let's start off with Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is in the theaters right now. I got a chance to see the film. I got my thoughts. So let's talk about my thoughts on this film. Thunderbolts, as I said before. Hey, Marvel's back. Marvel's back. Like Captain America: Brave New World was one thing. I felt like that was part of the phase it was in, phase 4, going to 5, and things like that. And Brave New World kind of got caught in that. That was kind of like the Agatha stuff as well. Then you got Thunderbolts. I think it was better than Brave New World, and I think the formula is back. I think Marvel. And first thing, everything I talked about to the patrons, much love to the patrons in the chat, links in the description. I get all my scoops and exclusives and rumors. I give it to the patrons. And over there, we nailed everything that I heard with this film. The way they use Bucky, I thought was very smart. It was very smart how to use Bucky, because that's people, again, we're talking about the general audience. That's their in way right there with Bucky. And then you got here Florence Pugh. I mean, she was the star of the film. I think her backstory and everything was great. U.S. Agent was a standout. U.S. Agent was a standout for sure. And as I heard before, Ghost did his thing. W. Muir saying it wasn't Cap for Eternals. Shang-Chi, bro, it's making more money than all those films. So what are we talking about? Yo, W. Muir, your taste of films is not like me. Bucky ended up being a leader type. Did you see the film, bro? Like I'm trying to understand. Bucky set them all straight. What are we talking about here? Fernando says Brave New World's a low bar. No, Brave New World's not a bad film. I'm gonna push back, Fernando. Brave New World's not a bad film. It's still in that phase 4 type of level, though. It's not like pushing the plot forward. But Brave New World, I could watch Brave New World a couple times a year. I'm gonna get his 4K. I'm gonna get Brave New World's 4K. I didn't mind that. Red Hawk, it wasn't bad. But Thunderbolts is better. Yelena, yes, it's the heart of the film, as Fernando says. Let me put this up. She's the heart of the film. I agree. Totally agree. And that connection with Red Guardian, cool. U.S. Agent, I thought, was another standout. I thought this character progressed, and Ghost was solid. I don't know why Taskmasters and any poster, because Taskmaster was such a throwaway character. But I get it. You gotta show the stakes are raised. Someone has to die. That's just like a Suicide Squad, right? And someone has to be taken out, right? So that's what that was. This is a pretty good Marvel film. Cannot front. It's better than Eternal. I don't know what dude was talking about. Eternals, bro? You saying Eternals was boring. And you saying Eternals is on this level? Nah. That's so much cap. Quantum Mania? Nah. Thunderbolts is better than that. Marvel? Nah, I like the Marvels. I actually like the Marvels film. But Thunderbolts was better as well. Feige course correct in real time. And it's spoilers there. We're going to all spoilers. So if you're watching this right now, if you haven't seen Thunderbolts, you're going to know. You're going to know some spoilers today. All right? This dude saying Eternals is better? Nah. I got to call so much cat. Now, David Harbour is a jewel. So like David Harbour, whatever he does, he goes all in, and he goes all in in this film as well too. Now he was great. He was great in this film. And as it was wild again, you patrons. I said this in a literal video on my Patreon right now. I said, "Yo, Thunderbolts. All I'm hearing is that Red Guardian and Bucky doesn't join the team till later." That's literally what I said this last year. And I think they're just starting to film this film. So yeah, my sources are still pretty good out here, whether you like what they're saying or not. This film, and I know it's not DC, so because I understand my brand. So people in DC doesn't realize how much I scooped the mess out of this film, and it's all confirmed, all good in the hood. So Fernando, again, U.S. agent, good progression of his character. He's a selfish guy, but I like how Bucky checked him, and that brings you back to the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. The progression of these characters and their interaction. I really like that in this film. I was like, oh, I like Thunderbolts. This is a multi-view film. For sure. And W Mirror, we've not had the same taste in film, bro. Outside of Snyderverse, we do not. Taskmaster, hey, somebody had to die. The Marvels, Thunderbolts is better than the Marvels, Marcus. So yeah, you're not missing much. You're not missing much with that. It's all good. Oh, W, did I poke the bear? Hold on. We're gonna talk, bro. We're gonna talk. Okay, let's get into it. Hey, people forget. I know I've been busy this past week or two. We back live now. We're gonna have these conversations, these tough conversations. So I'm glad W Mirror stepped up. He said, "Yo, read what I said. I said it wasn't just Cap 4 that was bad. I said Eternals, Shang-Chi, the Marvels, and Thunderbolts was mid to mad, which is like a godsend. Okay. Hold on. So your original comment said Thunderbolts is better than all of them. Hold on, I gotta go back. I'm gonna go back because I tried to see. You didn't say that in your original comment, W Mirror. See that's what I'm trying to say. Your original comment said, "Yo, it wasn't just Cap 4, Eternal, Shang-Chi, Quantumania, the Marvels," and then you just did laugh emojis. You didn't say Thunderbolts was better than all that. That's what I said, W Mirror. I'm just trying to make sure we on the same. Oh, you did? Did I miss your comment? Hold up. Oh, okay, you're coming. Okay, I got you. You're saying, yo, it was trash up to that point, but this is better. And that's all I was trying to say. W. Mir was that Thunderbolts is better than that last run. And it's better than Cap 4. It's definitely better than Eternals. Shang-Chi is good to the third act, and it's all CGI. And like I was watching it on Disney Plus a couple months ago, and I was like, Shang-Chi was actually lightweight decent, and then they went all CGI for that dragon fight. I was like, Marvels, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight about Marvels because I think that's the basement level Marvel film, the Marvels. You got to be better than that no matter what. Or same level. If you're worse than the Marvels, then you failed. You failed in Marvel. And I think Eternals failed. And I think Cap 4 is the same level of the Marvels, in my opinion. In my opinion. All right, we good. We good, W. Mir. Don't come at me, bro. Don't come at me, bro. Hold on. I gotta make sure the man's word is out there. We gotta. Hey, I'm all about the receipts. And so you said what you said, so I gotta make sure I acknowledge that. Taskmaster, you wish they were killed by a Sentry. That would have been a better death, right? But Ghost was dope. Ghost was dope, but then they had those dampeners the whole film. Like Ghost couldn't do nothing else after the first act. I was like, bro, because I heard about a cut where the Ghost does more, but then the final cut, the Ghost got like, sidelined. I was like, man. I was like, why? Should have killed the Ghost as well, too, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with you, Fernando. I thought I heard the Ghost had more like, kick-ass scenes, but then the final cut, I was like, nah. The Ghost was sidelined pretty soon. They used her to kill. They should have killed the Ghost. That's what they should have did. First act. Again, we're doing spoilers. We're doing spoilers here tonight. Taskmaster dies early, and then they should have killed the Ghost the second act. That would have raised the stakes because Ghost had no more worth after the first act. You know what I'm saying? You should have just killed her off. And that would have raised the stakes. That would have been like, like people could die. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. W. Mir says, I'm tired of people acting like Cat 4 is the only bad film. Oh, no, I got you. Yo, W. Mir, I got you. But first off, I don't think Cat 4 is a bad film. But you're saying, when people say, Cat 4 is bad, then what about Shang-Chi, Eternals? And okay, I get what you're saying with that. Shang-Chi's not a totally bad film. Eternals is bad. Eternals is a bad film overall. Like I was upset in the theater in real time watching Eternals. Cap 4 I thought is still watchable. Again, Shang-Chi, I said third act was pretty bad. But I think here with the Thunderbolts, I think they're back on track. I really feel Marvel, because Fantastic Four is going to be great in a couple months here. And then that's going to set up more of Avengers Doomsday. So Marvel is definitely back on track. All right, let's see. What else we got in the chat here? That was all good, W. No, it's good, man. Hey, I like when you throw out what you're talking about, and we don't always have to agree, but I always respect your opinion for sure, for sure. No, Eternals is the worst Marvel film. People say the Marvels is, and again, you don't gotta like. Again, I'm not mad if you don't like the Marvels, but that's not the worst Marvel film. That's all I was trying to say. Was the Marvels is actually very watchable on Disney Plus. Like it really is. For sure, for sure. Let's see. Let's catch up. Because I know my channel is mostly known for DC stuff, but we watch all CBM. We talk about, the latest in that news. For sure, for sure. And when it's Marvel, we talk about it as well. You liked Falcon and Winter Soldier more than Cap 4? That's kind of wild right there because I think Falcon and Winter Soldier takes you to Cap 4 and Thunderbolts. So I think that's like a nice little trilogy right there, in my opinion. I know it wasn't released as a trilogy, but I like the story. I like when Bucky called out U.S. Agent in Thunderbolts. I was like, that was a good progression because they fought. Like after, you know what I'm saying, John Walker went rogue a little bit, Bucky and Sam fought him. And you saw no interaction between those characters after that until Thunderbolts. And then Bucky was like, yo, like you should have been on this. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a great scene to me when I watched that in real time. So that's just my opinion with that. It says Eternals was inspired by the Snyderverse. Oh yeah, the director Chow, she's a big fan of the Snyderverse for sure. But it was a bad Marvel film. It was. Like if it was set up prior to the Eternals film, then maybe it would have been a little better. No, Eternals is a bad film. It's too bad, but it is, in my opinion. Many should have hired Snyder. Yeah, if Snyder would have made Eternals, oh my goodness. If Snyder would have did Eternals, and much respect to Chloe Zhao, it just, again, you're in a living, breathing Marvel world. If Eternals was an Elseworld story, it would have stuck out better because she wouldn't have been constrained. See, I don't blame Chloe Zhao for Eternals being bad. I blame Feige. And they should have just gave her an Elseworld story. That's what they should have did with Eternals. And I think she would have did better with that film. But by the end of Eternals, she knew she had to tie up certain things that she probably didn't want to. And she didn't stick the landing at all with that film, in my opinion. Right? Let's see here. Eternals was trash. Maria, shout out to Maria in the chat. Toxic. We got Neil Sevens. The new Avengers only temporary, right? Will it be East, West Coast Avengers in the future? Great question, Neil Sevens. So before this Vision series is being filmed, I think right now. And yeah, it's spoilers in the chat. We can go full spoilers with Thunderbolts, okay? So no one feel like you can't spoil it. It's Marvel, so we can kind of get away with spoiling more with Marvel than DC, in my opinion. We're going to talk more about the post-credit scene as well, too. But so when they did Thunderbolts, again, on my Patreon, I said they're going to become an Avengers team. I said this last year. So I feel very vindicated. But again, I'm more known as a DC guy, so no one cares when I scoop Marvel. It's all good. But my sources are the same. But with the Thunderbolts becoming the new Avengers, which is what we thought they would become, Sam Wilson's going to, after Cap 4, he's going to build his own Avengers team, as well. And then there is supposed to be a West Coast Avengers type thing in the Vision series. So that's the next thing I'm going to just, throw out there as well. There's going to be multiple Avenger type teams leading up to Avengers Doomsday. So that's going to be very interesting. If you're wanting to know what's going on with these Avengers team ups, after you watch Cap 4, you watch Thunderbolts. Now next is the Vision series is going to give you more. Young Avengers is built into the next either Doomsday or Secret Wars. So Young Avengers, I don't feel they're going to have a separate project at all. I know people are kind of iffy each way. And first off, Kate Bishop, I don't see her the same way anymore. Kate Bishop, like I feel like I thought she was a young Avenger, but no, that's a grown woman. You can't go back. Haley Steinfeld, you can't go back to Kate Bishop, in my opinion. But we'll see what they do. You have to watch the Sinners. We'll talk about Sinners in a moment. But Yeah, I'm expecting, just to answer your question, Marcus, Vision was supposed to be sort of like a West Coast Avengers setup. So we'll see how that series, they kind of changed writing, and they got homeboy from the Picard series, Terry Matalis, to do the Vision series. And so we'll see if they switched up that story. But it's supposed to be multiple teams when we get to Avengers Doomsday next year, which you're filming now. Yeah. So that's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm expecting as well, too. So good question right there. Let's see here. Bill. Are you talking about James Gunn? We'll talk about James Gunn later, right? We're talking about Marvel right now. Maria says, do you think you get Avengers versus Avengers? No. Avengers versus X-Men. And we'll talk about the Deadpool situation in a moment as well, too. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. Fantastic Four. Yeah, we're going to get into the post-credit scene right now. Let's get into that. Thank you, Maria, in the chat. Taking us to this topic here. So, again, we're going spoilers. We're going spoilers today with Marvel. I give a little more leeway to DC, but with Marvel, nah, all in, right? All in. So, post-credit scene, Thunderbolts. Now, again, I think I've got this on my Patreon as well too. So everything's all confirmed. Like it's crazy right now. What we doing? I gotta remove this real quick. Hold up. Too much going on my screen. There we go. Thunderbolts post-credit scene sets up Fantastic Four and Avengers Doomsday in a major way. This was one of Marvel's best post-credit scenes ever, probably since Thanos in, what was that, the first Avengers film? There hasn't been too many post-credit scenes Marvel where it's like, this top level type of post-credit scenes. I think we got this here with Thunderbolts. If people don't know, again, spoilers. They show the Fantastic Four team coming to the Marvel 616. Again, it's good stuff here. Great stuff. Hold on, let me adjust the screen here. All right, let's get rid of that. So, we finally know that pesky asterisk of Thunderbolts. Again, new Avengers. We knew that was coming. I said this last year. No issue there. Let's blow this back up. All right. Post-credit scene. Let's talk about this. Shout out to Carlos in the chat. We got the sports stream coming 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So a few hours from now, we're going to talk some sports as well. The Seal Nation Sports Network. We got the Carlos channel as well. So, in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, it first revealed, new Avengers living in the old Avengers headquarters. Got the Watchtower. They're also in a legal battle with Sam Wilson, which is kind of wild. I remember my journalist friend texted me that night. He was like, "Yeah," he's like, they're like crapping on Sam Wilson in the post-credit scene. I was like, "Oh." We'll see what team he builds. He's going to have Captain Marvel. So let me just kind of break that to y'all, right? Sam Wilson's going to have the better Avengers team. But Sentry, he's like their Hulk. So I would love to see Sentry and Captain Marvel square up, but that's not what it's going to be. It's going to be more about the incursions and the X-Men, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. The Fox world. It says here, it seems like next Avengers Doomsday, we'll see new Avengers and Cap Squad meet for the first time. They're not going to fight. But the other post-credit scene, the same post-credit scene, the revelation is Fantastic Four, right? Which is, again, probably one of the best post-credit scenes I think we've got. It's top tier Marvel post-credit. You wait to the end, and you are setting up the Fantastic Four film in Thunderbolts. Yeah, let's go. Are Fantastic Four escaping their universe? Yeah, I think Galactus wreck shop in Fantastic Four. I think this is like a flash forward scene, let you know the end of Fantastic Four. It all breaks off. How? You got to show up July 25th to Fantastic Four First Steps when it hits the theaters and takes over the cinema is what they're doing. Very, very interesting. That was a good post-credit scene, y'all. Like, I gotta say, I know they had the joke one in the mid-credit scene. It was like, Red Guardian Wheaties. Okay. They were setting that Wheaties joke the entire film, right? This here, Fantastic Four, I was like, oh, y'all want that word of mouth. That's what Marvel's like. And let me talk just briefly about, because I want to get to the next topics, but Thunderbolts, again, fun film. Is better than the most recent entries of Marvel. Good, good action. I like how they kind of set up the core team, and then they added Bucky and Red Guardian later. That's what I heard last year. That's what they did in the film. So that all lines up. And the whole Sentry. Now, what I will say, Sentry's good. And my friend told me last week, he's like, no, Sentry's good. I was like, okay, we'll see. I was excited to see what Sentry would do. I kind of would have liked the Stephen Young. I would have liked Stephen Young to do the Bob character. I think he would have kind of ate up this film. Because he's a great actor to me. Stephen Young, he was in the Beef series. He was in other projects as well, too. I think just as an actor, I think he would have ate up this film. Now, when he becomes Sentry, then it's like, I know we want the comic book counterpart, and the actor that we got, he fits the comic book counterpart. But when he was like in Bob phase, Stephen Young would have ate up this film. I swear. But we got what we got, right? And I think Sentry was pretty solid. The whole, depression, the mental health, and things like that. I thought they played that really good in the film, and that's what I was told before, is that they're going to play up to that. Thunderbolts is a solid Marvel film. It's a really solid popcorn movie. I think it's better than Brave New World. I think it's better than anything. When Endgame came out, after Endgame, this is the best. And I hate saying that. I hate saying that. Thunderbolts is the best Marvel film since Endgame. It actually is. Because they just did crap after that. And I think they did a good job. I think they really did a good job with this film. And it's setting up more to come. The summer starts now with Thunderbolts. It's May. Definitely, if you want a good time for a comic book movie, go see Thunderbolts. Go to a matinee, whatever. And then stay to the post-credit scenes, and it's going to set you up to Fantastic Four. I think Fantastic Four is going to do gangbusters with this as well, too. Let's see. What we're saying in the chat here. Let's see. This is the first topic. We're just getting started. This is a Saturday extravaganza Sylabdul podcast. Smash the like. Make sure you still subscribe. We're just getting started today. We got a lot to talk about today for sure. Let's throw that to the peoples. What we got in the chat? Go Clippers. I picked the Clippers to win games. What was it? Yeah, game 7 tonight, Fernando. Yeah. Is Superman in trouble? I've kind of settled with because I talk about this every week, and I love it. This is what we talk about, right? I love talking about these CBM films and what I'm hearing and things like that. Was the route for Superman, right? Let's pull up my trusty. Let's pull up my trusty list. When I talk about Superman, you got to talk about all the July films, right? This is just a reality. I know you got fans of different things, and you want DC, you want Marvel, whatever. Let's keep it real. July is tough. Okay. Jurassic World, July 4th week. It's gonna be nuts. Right? Let's zoom into this so y'all know what I'm saying. Jurassic World is gonna make its money. I would say Minecraft level, right? So Jurassic World, 130 domestically, weekend one, right? July 4th week. And then the following week, you usually get like a 50% drop, right? For these films. So let's say Jurassic World gets 130, approximately. Then what we talking about, like 65, second week, 70, second weekend. I think James Gunn Superman, DC Studios, is going to get similar to what the Thunderbolts is getting right now and what Brave New World got, 70 to 80 opening weekend. I think this is the film. I said this months ago. People are so caught up, and we're going to talk about like what you want to happen, what you think is going to happen, and what actually likely will happen. I think James Gunn Superman is going to get 70 to 80 million opening weekend. What's the special sauce with Thunderbolts or Brave New World? It's a comic book movie. You got to compare apples to apples. People thought Blue Beetle was a Marvel film a couple years ago. You see what I'm saying? So you're dealing with the same audience. So Superman is going to win his opening weekend against Jurassic World. That's what I'm saying right now. Now, the full run, we'll talk about that. It's second weekend. If it's 50 to 60% drop of 80 million, what you got, 30 million against Smurfs? Smurfs' top end opening was, I think, 35 million. And that was his better days. Smurfs. So Superman's going to have 2 good weekends. This is where I'm projecting right now. And I've been saying this for this past week or so. Again, it's not about what you want to have. It's about what likely will happen. And I think, just to answer your question, Maria, I think Superman has a chance to actually do something before Fantastic Four drops, right? So that's where I'm kind of at right now with the numbers, is that Superman's actually going to fend for itself for a couple of good weeks, pending the audience score. If y'all watch my channel for the past couple of years, audience score is the major factor with word of mouth. All right? And again, it don't matter about your personal. We're going to talk about the personal feelings in a little bit here, because I think people kind of need a little straightening as far as factual information and what's not factual. This is the stream to do it, because I see no one else is going to do it, so I'm going to be the one to do it, right? In this space. I just been a little busy this past week. I would have been live a couple of days ago. I was busy. We gonna talk about it all today. Oh man, I can't wait. I was waiting for this stream all week, man. I was working too hard this week. But hype for Fantastic Four first time. Yeah, Fantastic Four, I think that's a 1.2 billion film. I think Jurassic World is a $1 billion film. I think Fantastic Four is going to be the most successful film this summer. I think Marvel course corrected. the brand, and Thunderbolts is setting up Fantastic Four masterfully. So yeah, and I think Fantastic Four is going to be that film this summer. I really believe that. Really believe that for sure. For sure. So I only pulled it up because Mario's asking, is Superman a short? But no, I think Superman's going to make his money. I still think that's a $600 million film. I think that's enough for Gunn's DCU to, jumpstart and get it going. And then if the audience score is there for Superman, like if Superman gets an A minus cinema score, then you're talking about a $700 to $800 million film. I think Superman can make its money while Fantastic Four is making its money. Because I think Superman's going to make his money while Jurassic World's making its money. But caveat, I got a caveat on this because I don't know the audience score yet. Because Thunderbolts, I said this with Brave New World. Brave New World got a B cinema score, or B minus, or whatever it was, B plus. I was like, oh, Brave New World. I was like, oh, you're not gonna leg out Brave New World if your cinema score is less than the A. B plus at the best. Actually, let's see. What was Brave New World cinema score? B minus. So anything under a B plus, I believe Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was a B plus because the audience didn't like how they did the Illuminati. They didn't like how you made Wanda a villain. There was some choices in Multiverse of Madness, but it satisfied enough of Marvel fans to make it a $900 million film. Multiverse of Madness. Brave New World, B minus. It wasn't fun enough. That's just when you're a Marvel film, unless you want to be like some kind of black label Marvel film or Elseworld, if you're saying I'm in the mainline MCU, you got to be fun. And Brave New World wasn't fun enough. I like the film. I like Brave New World. I will watch Brave New World, like I said, a couple times a year. I think it's enjoyable enough, but I knew it wasn't fun enough. Thunderbolts is fun enough for everyone. That's why it's going to make more money. Brave New World made what, 420 globally? Thunderbolts going to do 600. I believe that. I believe Thunderbolts will do 500 to 600 for sure. And then Fantastic Four is going to take it to another level. So again, it's about the audience reaction and word of mouth. That's what's going to determine the success of a lot of these films and their legs. For sure. We got Johnny Portis here. We're going to transition to the next Marvel topic in just a moment here. We're just getting started. I know, man, I swear. I didn't think we were going to take an hour on Thunderbolts, but we did. That means we got more time. We got more time today. All right. So Johnny Portis says, what's up? I've been waiting for this stream. Definitely not going to win this. So no. I make this very clear. Like when I put up this here, again, what do I personally want to happen? I'm gonna be honest with everyone. I always want DC to win, but I'm a realist. Okay, I'm a realist, so I know Jurassic World is going to kill, and Fantastic Four has had the best response of any film I've covered in the past couple years, as far as trailer and everything. So I know Fantastic Four is going to do $1.2, $1.5 billion. It is. We'll see. I mean, again, this is my projection, but I'm just going off of just the data I've been able to cover the past 5 years of me doing content. And I'm saying like this, Fantastic Four is the one this summer. Jurassic World Rebirth is a good rebranding. And you just show up with a good dinosaur film, you're going to make $1 billion. And that's what they're going to do. With Jurassic World. Superman, it's going to have a tough, it's going to win his opening weekend, second weekend against Smurfs. Despite it may be closer than people, close for comfort, but then when Fantastic Four comes in theaters, it's over. Marvel's back, right? You had your chance the last 2 years, like what was that, 2023? If you had good films in 2023, DC could have took over. But everyone knew they were transitioning away from the DCEU after Black Adam, and it was in the new James Gunn DCU. That's when you had your chances. Marvel was doing terrible. Quantumania, terrible. Right? The Marvels, not good enough. I thought it was an enjoyable film. Brave New World, you're trying to circle back, but not quite there. Thunderbolts, now they're back. Now Fantastic Four is coming in a couple months. Now that's setting up Avengers Doomsday. You know, they're filming that film already. Marvel's back. I'm just letting you know it's over. Okay? So DC, get what you can get. You better hope Superman pops because Marvel's back now. After Fantastic Four, what's the next film? Avengers. Over. So you better come with some quality. Oh, we got Supergirl. Okay, I'll get Supergirl $700 million. And if you're really good, then you can probably get $8 million. I think Supergirl's gonna be great. I think Supergirl's gonna be that's my most anticipated DC film of this whole reboot. I think Supergirl's gonna be great. I gave my reasons before. Millie Alcott is gonna be great. You got Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa just steps into $1 billion franchises. Yeah, Supergirl's gonna be good. Superman, I don't know. We got audience score. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out together. Thunderbolts was definitely solid. Yeah, no, it's solid. Yeah, I don't agree with anyone saying, "Oh, it's a bad film," or it's not even like, "Oh, it's Marvel's Suicide Squad." No, I don't get that vibe at all. This is a Marvel film. Florence Pugh is great in the film. U.S. Agent is really solid in the film. I think they cut out some Ghost stuff because I heard Ghost was better than what I got in this film. That's the only intel. I was like, okay, we didn't get too much. They should have killed off Ghost in the second act. That would have raised the stakes, in my opinion. I have Sentry. Sentry should have killed Ghost. Then it would have been like, oh, it would have been kind of wild. But they didn't go that way. Whatever. We don't need Ghost. Ghost is whatever. All you got to do is just dampeners and she's done. Okay, get out of here. Sentry, I think, was solid. Obviously, Sentry's going to be and I heard this last week. Sentry's going to play an interesting part in the Avengers film. So I know how the ending was like, oh, I can't come out because the Void will come out. No, the Void's going to come back. Okay. Yeah. These Avengers films are going to be nuts, bro. Like, Marvel's back. Hey, I'm a DC guy. I'm telling you, Marvel's back. Okay. It's crazy. Oh, let's see. Let's catch up here. Can't wait for Supergirl for sure. So that's where we're at with that, right? So let's transition forward here because with Marvel, we talked about Deadpool, Wolverine, and what that was setting up, and potential Avengers versus X-Men type of situation. It's kind of clear what they're doing with Marvel right now, right? So let's pull this up here. There. Ryan Reynolds, right? The story came out. He's writing a Deadpool X-Men team up film. Interesting. But not so like shocking. I'm not shocked that this is what Ryan Reynolds is doing because this has been the plan the entire time. Set up Deadpool on the X-Men world, Fox world, and then you set up Avengers Secret Wars where Earths have to either you destroy the other Earth, or you merge with the other Earth, either way, you got the X-Men world already set up, Fox world, end of Deadpool Wolverine. Then you got the Marvel 616 universe. In the comics, it came down to 2 universes. Marvel 616 and the Ultimate World. It ended up they merged together. So spoiler alert for the end of Avengers Secret Wars. This is all going to merge together. Okay. You're going to have Marvel 616, and you're going to have the Fox X-Men, in a sense, migrate over. So, yes, that means more Hugh Jackman after Secret Wars. Yes. That's what's happening, folks. So this film, will it come out before Secret Wars, after Secret? Well, they're filming Avengers Doomsday right now. So this film that Ryan Reynolds is trying to write, this is going to be after Secret Wars. Meaning Deadpool, X-Men, is going to be some kind of merge. And I'll have more updates with this. Patreon, stay tuned as well too. We got a lot more to talk about this, but this is telling you the future of the Marvel Universe right here. What we got in the chat? We got Il Divino Vega. I got to connect with this man. Y'all heard that intro music. So y'all know this is the man with the anthems. Vega, earlier this afternoon, I did free comic book day, so I was busy, but I got to get you. We got to chop it up next weekend, next Saturday, afternoonish if possible. We're gonna throw some more content out there for people. So for sure. But what Vega was saying, do you have to watch Captain America movie to know what's happening? No, it's a separate. And this was like the Phase 4, Phase 5. Marvel was fumbling, so you can go into Thunderbolts not really knowing anything about Brave New World, or as long as you watch Endgame, because they reference Black Widow dying and stuff like that, right? That's all you kind of need to know in this film. And I think Marvel's back, man. Like DC had his chance. Everyone had his chance to kind of set up and get back in the game, but they messed up. Marvel's back. Marvel is back. Ryan needs to shift focus again. Oh, yeah, I ain't gonna get into that. Yeah, X-Men, that's going to be a big thing. Again, what Ryan Reynolds is doing, just to let people know. Shout out to Seth in the chat. What's good with you, man? What Ryan Reynolds is doing, this has been a plan the entire time. I tweeted out about this. Mikey, the late great Mikey Sutton, talked about the plans with Deadpool, X-Men, and MCU. So it's all going into focus. But what Feige did, he said, this is going to be after Secret Wars, meaning Deadpool, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, and then it's going to be a new class of X-Men, maybe even a new Wolverine. But this film is going to be after Secret Wars. And then we'll see, you know what I'm saying? Because since you're writing the story, we don't know the story yet, right? So we got to see what he does after Secret Wars. Yeah, we'll get back in the booth with Vega. And definitely I got other interviews. I got other people doing content. There's going to be some cool drops during the week for y'all, for sure. Thunderbolts with the asterisk, for sure. More ways than one. All right. That's wild. So yeah, we wanted to touch on that real quick. I know people, the streets was talking about what does this mean? Yeah, it just means again, a new X-Men team. I'll just say it like this. All because of late great Mikey Sutton put this out there. But X-Men Gold, you comic book readers, if you know, you know. X-Men Gold is a aging Wolverine and a new X-Men team. That's what they're doing, right? I'm not going to say it twice. All right. So we'll talk about that more in the future. We're going to go forward. I kind of dropped something on y'all with that one, but we're going to go forward. Let's talk more about the Sinners film. Now, this is kind of coming back to the Thunderbolts as well. But we got here the box office forecast. Shout out to Box Office Pro. First off, Thunderbolts again, 80 to 90 million. I gotta do my drop, right? I gotta do my. We talking about box office, right? So y'all already know what this is. Box office battle. L's in the chat. So Thunderbolts 80 to 90 million, and maybe more 80 than 90. Again, just like Brave New World. But Thunderbolts has a better cinema score. A- Thunderbolts. B- Brave New World because it wasn't fun enough. Brave New World, it didn't give you the Marvel popcorn feeling. Though I like the film. It is what it is. It's about numbers, not about personal feelings here. So Thunderbolts is going to do pretty good. I think the word of mouth is going to be good. Sinners is what we're really talking about here. Sinners. It's an update. It could be possibly 30 million. I know it says 16 to 22 million, and shout out to Box Office Pro. But the latest numbers I heard was Sinners on this week 3, where week 1 had 48 million. Week 2 had 45 million, a 5% drop. Unprecedented. I'm hearing with Sinners, week 3 could be 30 million. Insane. On top of that, it's going back to IMAX. So they pulled out Sinners from IMAX, right? Because they want the Thunderbolt screenings and things like that. But then it's coming back. It's coming back the middle of May. I tried to get tickets to Indianapolis. That's the closest to me in Louisville. Sold out. Sold out. Guys wanted to go just to support it. It's like, nah, it's a wrap. You ain't getting no tickets. So, hey, as long as the street supporting Sinners, then hey, it's all good. Yeah, Vegas said, I'm kind of surprised Accountant 2 ain't doing as good. So Accountant 2 is like right there on the threshold, like the picture I had before. Because Minecraft, again, these silly kids just love Minecraft. It's just Accountant 2 is right after Minecraft. And it could when it's all said and done, maybe it can jump ahead of Minecraft. Because these are projections, so we're just at Saturday. Tomorrow, Accountant could jump up, but right now they're saying Minecraft is going to be the number 3, right? And again, Sinners is going to do better than people thought. I know you're seeing 16 to 22 million. I'm hearing 30 million. So if you're going from 48 to 45 to 30, man, Sinners, bro, this film is a phenomenon. You don't hold like that, right? You're talking about what, like a 15% drop? It's third week? What are we doing, right? Like, how is that possible? That's what I don't want to say 15, 30%. I'm going to say that right. Sinners, third week, probably a 30% drop. Insane. Unheard of what's going on with this film. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that overall. Accountant 2, good film. It's just they had no idea they were opening up next to a phenomenon. We got the box office mojo numbers. $90 million production for the film. Over $200 million profit. Domestically, this film, man, this is before the weekend numbers. You're going to add another 30 to this. It's going to cross 200 million next week. That's straight cash. You spent $90 million and you got 200 domestic money. Oh, and the international sends you another check because they kind of lag, the international numbers. Straight profit. So I know Variety Mag is taking a lot of disses because they was like, oh, will this be profitable? Yeah. 2 or 3 times over profitable. Ryan Coogler's going to get a blank check. That's why I said earlier, when he does Black Panther 3, they're going to like, however much you want to spend on this, because we know we're getting $1.5 billion. W. Mir says, I told you. This is straight profit, homie. This is what this is. That's what it is. All right. So, good stuff here. Good stuff here. Let's get to the DC topics, because I know as much as I talk about other films and stuff like that, I get it on this main podcast channel. Y'all want to hear about the latest I'm hearing with DC and what's going on. So we know this past week, because again, I want to give y'all accurate information. People just be out there a little reckless with their information. What I mean by that, there was talks about a cancellation of a film, right? Let me pull this up. I'm doing too much right now. Hold up. We want the Sergeant Rock. Hold on. Way too much going on. We don't want that as either. Here we go. Sergeant Rock was canceled, prolonged, delayed. What was going on? We want to give y'all the real. Trying to point Black Panther 3. Black Panther, and I said this past week. Let's kind of address this before we get started on the DC stuff. I think everyone understands Wakanda Forever was a Feige Marvel push to capitalize, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but just to capitalize on Chadwick Boseman passing away. They made it a funeral film. It was one of the most depressing films I ever seen. I was like, bro, like, where is... They should have put more joy in the life of Chadwick Boseman in Wakanda Forever. They made it such a funeral concession. And it's like, again, I understand we all lost people in life, but you want to make this a celebration. If you want to make this a celebration, and I think they neutered Ryan Coogler in Wakanda Forever. So as a film, I don't feel the reason to watch multiple times, right? And then you take out Angela Bassett, which was actually an effective scene, but you just had so much funeral stuff going on in that film that just did not land well, right? Black Panther 3, oh man. At this point with Coogler, when you go out there as Coogler, do an original IP, and if people don't realize it was Sinners, he was talking with Christopher Nolan the whole time. Oh, yeah. Nolan's like a special consultant on Sinners. And Coogler, soaked up a lot of game with Christopher Nolan. Coogler's going to get a blank check for the next 2 or 3 projects, just like Nolan gets. Nolan gets a blank check. Oppenheimer, okay, I'll make that for less than $100 million, whatever it was, and turn a profit. You got this Odyssey film. He's probably gonna get about close to $200 million for that one because of the actors, the cast. Actually, hold up. Before I say Oppenheimer, let me get the right budget with Oppenheimer, because I know I might have some weirdo saying sylabdul. It was $100 million. Okay, I said less than $100 million. It was probably at $100 million for Oppenheimer. My point. Nolan is going to get a blank check. Coogler is going to get a blank check as well too for his films going forward. I think Black Panther 3 is going to be the biggest, baddest film that he probably will ever do. He's going to bring back Michael B. Jordan. You already know he's going to do that. Denzel already spoiled that Denzel is a part of it as well too. as well. Black Panther 3 he's going to have a new T'Challa. It's going to be after Secret Wars. So Black Panther 3 is going to be the biggest CBM film since Endgame. like this is going to be huge. That's going to be huge. Let's catch up with these comments before I get to the DC stuff. Another two says, I'll be watching Fantastic Four this summer, Avengers 5 next year. May see what's up with Supergirl. Now, Supergirl, hey. Again, I know people got different codes out there, like, oh, you can't like certain DC stuff. Yo, this is sylabdul. All right. So I'm telling you, Supergirl's gonna be it. That's gonna be the DC jam of 2026. I've all indications. Hey, hate Gunn, whatever. Gunn's not writing that film. He's not directing that film. Some people say he shadow directed it. Supergirl's gonna be it next summer. Not playing with that. Not playing with that. You can throw anything you want at that. That film's bulletproof for real. And then you got the female aspect. You got people that want more female leads. It hits all the bars. So I'm probably skipping Clayface. It's low budget, so you're not gonna miss much. Jurassic World. You better watch Jurassic World. You're down for Black Panther 3. Good stuff. Another 2. And this is like the itinerary for a lot of people that watch this channel. Fantastic Four is going to be 1.2 to 1.5 billion. This is what they set up. Again, I'm saying the back channels is going to come up. Then it hit Thunderbolts, setting up Fantastic Four. Yeah, that's going to do crazy numbers. Avengers Doomsday, RDJ's back. That's going to do crazy numbers. And then, like I said, Supergirl coming out in the middle of next summer or whatever it comes out, I think June. That's going to be, Gunn's going to be able to lean into that Supergirl. The problem, I said this from the beginning, when Gunn set up this DCU, I was like, don't write and direct everything. Don't do that, because you're bringing that baggage over people that didn't like your Peacemaker and things like that. Get other people. David Gillespie is going to direct Supergirl. Anna Nagara wrote Supergirl. Lanterns has a different team as well, too. Those are going to be successful. I was like, Gunn, that's your best chance. I know you want to launch with Superman. We're going to see. We'll see what it do. I think it's a $600 million film. Supergirl's going to be better. Supergirl's going to do better. And, I mean, I'm just saying, you got a good cast. And then that Momoa, that Illuminati Momoa. I'm saying, Jason Momoa, you don't just do multiple billion-dollar franchises. You don't do Aquaman. You don't stumble on that. And then stumble into Minecraft and do another billion. Yeah, Momoa got the juice for the box office. The aunties love him. It's about the aunties with Momoa. People are going to show out for Supergirl, right? Superman doesn't have that event. Superman doesn't have those advantages. Right? That's just a reality. Again, it ain't about feelings. It's not about feelings. What we got in the chat here? Let's see. What DC film could you see Coogler directing? I think Coogler at this point, I think Coogler's Nolan level right now, man. I don't think Nolan would do a DC film again. And I don't think Coogler will as well. I think Coogler can do original IPs at this point. He's contracted to do Black Panther 3. I think it's the last superhero like known Marvel DC that Coogler would do. This Sinners film took Coogler to another stratosphere. I keep saying my journalist friend, he texted me the night he went to the premiere of Sinners a couple weeks ago. He said, oh crap, he said Coogler is Nolan level now. I was like, whoa. I mean, Nolan, we know Nolan. Oppenheimer, Nolan, like what are we talking about? He said no. He's like Coogler. He's like Coogler's there. This film, he said, I just saw with Sinners. This before I saw it. He's like Coogler's there. And so when you get to that rarefied air where Coogler's at, it's not about doing Marvel or DC anymore. He has to do Black Panther 3. I think it's gonna be huge. After that, if I'm Coogler too as well, no, I'm done. I'm done with Marvel DC. I'm doing original IPs, original checks. I think we lost Coogler. We lost him to the superhero world. Black Panther 3 he's gonna do. He's gonna do his trilogy. That's it. I think that's it. But to answer your question, Mr. Terrific, if he does a DC project, I would want him to do a milestone. I would want him to do like a Icon, Static's cool. Was it the Syndicate? What's that milestone? What's that milestone project where it's a bunch of them together? I think it's Syndicate, Blood Syndicate. I will want Cougar to do Blood Syndicate milestone where you got a bunch of super power beings, some bad, some good. I would love to see what Cougar do with it, but I just think he's priced out now. He's priced out with superhero stuff because he's like all tour level, right? That's where Cougar's at. But yeah, if I'm going to say something, just DC Blood Syndicate. I would love Cougar to do that. Yeah. Let's see. Let's catch up. Is Center's good? Man, I ain't gonna answer that. Agreed on Supergirl. Superman's gonna suck chestnuts. Hey, I think Superman's gonna be a solid film. Let me just say it right now. We're here. We're Saturday again. Come back here every Saturday, bro. We're gonna be here unless there's some holiday stuff going on, or if I'm out of town. This is gonna be the main stream every week. Saturday around this time, right? Smash a like. Make sure you still subscribe. Let's throw this out here real quick because I just want to set the proper expectations for everyone. You know what I'm saying? I think Superman, and again, I'm gonna stand on this. 550 to 600 million is what this film's gonna do. This is before the audience score. If the audience score is A level, then yeah, the Superman will make a little money against Fantastic Four. I think it's going to beat Jurassic World its second weekend. I really believe, just when I kind of just stew on it a little bit, I'm like, okay, Jurassic World can come out like Minecraft. Cool. I think Superman will come out like Thunderbolts, Brave New World. That's 70, 80, 90 million. That could beat Jurassic World's second weekend. And then it will win its second weekend. After Superman will win its second weekend. And then Fantastic Four would throw a nuke at it. But if the audience score is there for Superman, that's what's going to be the legs for it. We'll see, right? We're going to find out together. But I would say 550, 600 million. For sure. I see Amari in the chat. You missed too much. You missed my Thunderbolt spoilers. Let's see. Seth says, I promise you, Super Shid will be forgotten like the Flash. I think it'll be better than the Flash. How bad did the Flash do? That was, man. I was very surprised that the Flash did as bad as it did, man. What did it even get? Oh my! The Flash got less than 300 million. Oh my god! It was that bad. The Flash is a decent film. I like the Michael Keaton stuff. I like all the Batman stuff in the Flash film. Less than 300 million? No, y'all know Superman's gonna be better than the Flash. Like we gotta be real. We gotta be real about this, y'all. We gotta be real about this. Hey, I'm here to set things back to the reality. That's not gonna do less than the Flash. I don't think it's gonna do less than Black Adam. Because again, the general audience didn't even know what the Flash was. That's bad marketing. Ezra Miller had the situation, though Ezra Miller beat all the charges. You know, that's a whole nother story. And I covered that in real time. I was like, no, I maintained his innocence the whole time. But when you're trying to market a film, it's not good to have those, that you're choking women and stuff like that. It's not good, not a good look. But no, Superman's going to do better than the Flash. Like I think it's a $600 million film. I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to stand on that, man. Let's see what we got. And we're going to get to our DC stuff and Superman in just a moment here, but I'm going to catch up with the chat. Just asking, is Spawn reboot movie in production right now? I know the character's been associated with DC Batman. It's not in production, no. I got no production details on the Spawn film. It's still supposed to have Jamie Foxx attached to it. Todd McFarlane, is the mastermind behind it. The writers of the first Joker film are writing the latest draft, or they've written the latest draft of Spawn. They're waiting. Todd McFarlane's waiting for a studio to pick up and fund this Spawn film. I mean, Universal, Lionsgate, someone like that needs to still step up and fund this Spawn reboot. The old Spawn film is actually a pretty good film up until you get to the third act, CGI or whatever they were doing. I don't know what you call that in those days. It got pretty bad in the third act of the Spawn film. This new one, and I just picked up some Spawn comics. I didn't show y'all earlier, free comic book day, but I bought some Spawn comics, King Spawn. What we got? What was it, Scorcher, or what's it called? I got some Spawn comics, all right? So we down with the culture. But the point, Todd McFarlane is waiting for a major studio to buy into this Spawn film. Then it will go into production. Yeah, so that's my answer to that. Yeah. And it's gonna be called King Spawn, so it's gonna be pretty major. Now you good, Johnny? Superman will be fine, just not breaking. No, it's not breaking. No, it's not breaking any records. Like I said, I think it's a $600 million film, and it can go a little bit more if the audience score is there. That is nothing. That's what they did with marketing so far with Superman. We talk about the ups and downs of marketing with the Superman film, and I see what Fantastic Four did, Jurassic World. No, Superman doesn't have a chance against those two films. Can it scratch out a little money? Yeah, I think it will. I think it will have a couple weeks, 3 to 4 weeks to get the 600. Just like Thunderbolts will. Brave New World had a bad audience score. That's why it topped off at 420. Thunderbolts would do 600 million because it has the audience score. And I think Superman could do similar. I think it could do similar. Yeah. Clooney Gate is wild. Clooney Gate's wild, Carlos. That's pretty wild. Let's see. Jeremy Renner was attached to Spawn. Not the recent stuff. It was all Jamie Foxx. All right, so let's get to the DC spot here. All right, so again, I understand people are here for the DC stuff. This here caused some interesting conversations overall. And I got something to say as far as with DC fandom overall, but Snyder fandom too. We gotta have a talk. We gotta have a talk this weekend. We gotta have a talk today about the information that we're passing around on social media. We gotta have a talk about the accuracy, because when I started my platform, it was about accuracy. See, when I said Cavill was coming back, Ben was coming back, even the Clooney stuff, it wasn't about what I wanted to happen. it was real information, and I took it seriously. And that extends to now. Right now, no, I'm not hearing the Snyderverse is being restored this week or next month. But definitely, if I hear anything that Zack Snyder does, we're going to talk about it, right? It's going to be a State of the Fandom stream. But when I was telling y'all Cavill was coming back, Ben was coming back, I had haters in the DMs and emails and things like that saying I was telling y'all fairy tales. And I took that seriously. I took that very seriously, how people looked at my viewers. Because I was like, am I educating? Am I giving y'all the right information? Because they're saying, oh, y'all just going to believe anything. But what I realized after James Gunn and Peter Safran was hired and some time has went by, I'm seeing too many people believe in anything. And I'm like, no, this ain't what I set up. Again, Still Nation is Still Nation. You got some Snyder fans, they were against Black Adam. They were against Cavill coming back in the Black Adam film. They're still talking about it today. You got some anonymous dummies on social media who claim to be Snyder fans. I don't know. I've never seen their face. Have y'all seen their face? They were against what I was saying about Cavill coming back. They were against what $7 Productions was going to do in DC. $7 Production, and I ain't going to spend too much time on this, but I just want to get this out here. Because I want to set the proper expectations when you come to my platform, opposed to anonymous dummies on social media, right? Who claim to be Snyder fans. I don't know if they're really Snyder fans. Because all they do is spewing out dumb information. And they want you to capitulate to the dumbness. All I know, when The Rock, $7, Black Adam, bringing back Cavill to DC, what they were trying to do was to obviously build a Black Adam universe. We understand that with Power Girl. What was that? What was that Green Lantern? Let's see. I had it because Mikey told y'all about that one. The first one, first Green Lantern. Alan Scott? Yeah, they were going to bring Alan Scott and Power Girl and obviously Hawkman and more Dr. Fate. And yeah, that's what The Rock was trying. It was going to be all about The Rock. But then he was like, I'm bringing you Henry Cavill, and he's going to get Man of Steel 2. Zack Snyder beamed in when Cavill was technically back. No one else sent Cavill a video. I still had people still arguing about this a month ago. Saying, oh, did that mean something that Zack sent the video to Henry Cavill? I said, who else sent Henry Cavill a video? Who else celebrated Cavill coming back except the person that made him Superman? Zack Snyder. So, yeah. And then it was confirmed. It was going to be a last ride of the Snyderverse to Luca Abdi. That's what that run was going to be. Black Adam universe, setting up Cavill back as Superman, his Justice League, which is Ben Affleck, Batman, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, etc. And he's going to get one last ride, and then they're going to reboot. You got some dummy, and I may pull this up when I do another questions from readers, comments from readers. You got some idiot in my comment section saying, "Oh, you said it was always going to reboot the DC, no matter what Black Adam would have did." I wish I would have had this image here because I would have put this on the screen right now just to make you look stupid. Zack Snyder's original plan was to do his DC Road and reboot. Dummy. So that's what was going to happen regardless. That's what that Black Adam universe was going to be. But again, you got some Snyder fans, you got some people claiming to be the want y'all to look stupid on social media, but y'all choose what y'all want to rock with. Y'all choose what misinformation you want to spread. Because I remember when I put out any information, people are like, "Oh, is it accurate? Is it accurate?" Well, I'm on everyone's head about what's accurate. Poochie we're not talking about if Black Adam was successful. It wasn't successful, right? I love the Black Adam film. I did with reality. That's why Man of Steel 2 didn't happen. All right? But what I'm saying is that you have accounts now just putting out all the misinformation. So what am I talking about? Let's pull this up here. Because like I said, we back. Hey, like I said, Saturdays, we here. Some weekdays too. I was just a little busy. I had to put in some work this past week. I couldn't, but we here now. So this here, Sergeant Rock halts pre-production, now eyeing summer 2026 production start. My main issue with how the fandom, because I'm gonna tell you right now, the Snyder fandom, I wouldn't have a platform if it wasn't for Snyder films, Snyder fans. But again, I was dead set on giving you accurate information. I will not stand for misinformation among the fandom. And these dumb anonymous accounts are doing that. So if you align with them, if you peddle false information, it's going to be called out probably every Saturday here. So I want to make sure y'all are equipped for what's actually coming. I said this last week. I sat there where people said, "Oh, no, James Gunn, he's not making that Superman film. It's going to be a tax write-off." I said, "Yo, they're going to film it. They're going to release it. They're 100% behind James Gunn." No, that's going to be the only film. They're not going to film any other films. Yeah, Supergirl is finishing production like this week. That's coming out 2026. I'm not telling you what might be, I'm telling you what is happening. Okay? And you got these dumb anonymous accounts who claim to be Snyder fans that wants to peddle y'all false information that, Superman's going to be a tax write-off, that they cut 30 minutes from the film. No sourcing at all. So I never stuck with just what what they call that, confirmation bias. I like the Joker 2, Folly I Do film, right? Y'all saw that in real time. I like that film. And I know it got a D+ cinema score. L. Less than $200 million globally box office. L. But I'm not going to be like, "Oh, Joker 2 should have did better." No, it failed. But if something succeeds, like Minecraft, it's a dumb film. Minecraft, oh my God. I felt like I got dumber watching that film with my nieces. But it's about to do $900 to $1 billion. $900 million to $1 billion. Now about personal feelings. So let's keep it factual over here. Why I say all that? Because people's like, oh, the DCU tax write-off because I hate Gunn. Hey, yo. If you watch my channel long enough, you know I didn't like Peacemaker. I just said earlier, I don't like James Gunn's Suicide Squad. So what are we talking about? What do I want to happen? I mean, obviously, I would have loved to get ZSJL 2. That's not what they did. They rebooted. This is what they're coming out with. So this here, halting pre-production. Patrons, I was talking to y'all about this all year. As far as the production happening, now it's halted. The project is not canceled. They likely, it's a low budget project. They likely would do it next year because they want to get the Clayface film in production. That's what's going on with this. You got limited time and spaces with this. But you got some online anonymous dummies who wants all Snyder fans to look like idiots while claiming they're Snyder fans. Y'all gonna pick up on this sooner or later. It will be a point. I'll put them on a Summer Jam screen. I'll pull up a screenshot of what I'm talking about of certain accounts who are anonymous idiots who say they're Snyder fans. One of y'all to look like idiots. I'm gonna give you real information. And it's going to be bulletproof. Whatever I put out there, it's going to be like, okay, it's backed up. It's not going to be what I want to happen or what I hope to happen. But again, y'all choose accordingly what information y'all want to peddle and put in my comment section or say, oh, I heard this. I will dismantle it very easily. Y'all forgot how I started. I started searching out information when I started my channel. And that's why I started searching out Mikey Sutton. And I sniffed around so much, his team reached out to me. So, and we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about that monkey stuff, because that's actually real. But we're going to talk about, but with this here, I just want to make it very clear, because people are taking this like, oh, the DCU is over. Nah, bro, I have said this since last year that not only they're doing Superman, they're doing 4 or 5 other projects. What's happened after that? Supergirl has filmed, Lanterns, Peacemaker season 2. They're doing the Clayface, so that's 4. I thought they would do Sergeant Wright. They're pushing that to 2026. So 4 other projects is in production or will be in production. Will be released. See, I have different people I network with, and they tell me what they hear about the Snyder fandom. And I'm amongst the Snyder fandom. And I want to make sure they know that the Snyder fandom is sane. Some of y'all don't care if the Snyder fandom is sane or appears to be sane. See, the problem why I want the Snyder fandom to look sane is because we had the greatest victory ever of any fandom, period. But you got these people that wants to dilute our messaging and make us look like idiots, like we don't have factual information. I want people to look at us as, you know, a factual fandom. You got the fandom menace in Star Wars. You got, you know, other fandoms that's rising up and saying like, oh, you know, we ain't rocking with this IP. I'm saying as Snyder fans, I equipped y'all with factual information. I want that to continue. Not with this BS that people are saying. Not with unfounded information. That's not what we're going to do. Here we go. Right here. And W, I'm not picking on you. I'm not picking on you when I bring this up. But I'm glad you said this in real time. clear indication they're nervous due to how they felt about the Superman test screen. It's not a good look. Superman test screen is true or mixed. I've talked about it again in real time. The tone is a real thing that they are trying to pinpoint. Then they came out with that 5-minute preview. That's a film you're getting. You're getting a Superman film. It's going to have the silver, and we'll get to Superman. I don't want to spend too much time on Superman until I get to the topic, but you're getting a James Gunn film. What does that mean? All right. Let's get into that. Actually, let me kind of transition. Let me transition this. So, Sergeant Rock, them pushing production, again, that's not connected with Superman. Again, I know what we want to happen, what we think is going to happen. That's not what that is. That literally is, trying to adjust as far as time and space for production. Sergeant Rock, if they would have canceled Supergirl, W. Mirror, then I would have been like, oh, they nervous. Sergeant Rock, Clayface, you're talking about low-budget films. That's not no clear indication that they're worried about something. No. Cancel Supergirl then. They're not. Why? Because you got Billy Alcock, an up-and-coming star. David Gillespie, an accomplished director who works with women leads. Jason Momoa, who's part of the Illuminati, and he makes money. All right? Let's get to the Superman part. All right, so we already talked about this the DC, because I wanted to kind of set the stage with the DC stuff, right? So let's get to the Superman stuff. Let's get to it. Let's see here. First off, because this is really what the stream is about, the latest on Superman. Yeah, cancel Brave and the Bold, but it's a chance, Amari. And I'm going to release that Culture Nerd interview during this next week coming up. It's a chance Brave and the Bold can come out before Matt Reeves' Batman Part 2. But we'll talk about that. But they're not canceling that. There's going to be a Batman film 2027, one way or another. All right? If Reeves is ready, great. If he's not, they're going to have this Brave and the Bold script ready to go next year to film. So we'll talk about that in the future. Sergeant Rock, like, that's not, I mean, that shouldn't, that's not something that you latch on to, right? Let's see what we got here. Okay. So, well, no, W. Mirror, they're not canceling Superman or Supergirl. You may want that to happen. you may want that to happen. That's not happening. Supergirl's coming out summer 2026. For better or worse. Again, I'm trying to talk about what is happening. Batgirl was shaky because they were changing regimes in the middle of it. We all knew that. Again, if you've been on this channel long enough, you know the journey of Batgirl. You can't say the current climate is the same. You may want it to be the same. I'm saying it's not. Right? Supergirl's coming out. And it's going to be the biggest film DCU does to that date until they do the team-up film in 2031. That's the end game. Right? Before that. So, again, we got to talk about what's actually happening, not what we want to happen. Right? So, I say that, but then I do gotta bring this up. This is what the Japanese Comic-Con, they got this little video. W. Mirror says Comcast looking to buy, though. That came from my channel. Anyone saying Comcast, NBC, Universal wants to buy Warner Brothers? That was in 2021 on the sylabdul podcast. And then I updated y'all earlier this year. Comcast kicked the tires on Warner Brothers, and they decided to pass. As far as in Warner Brothers' current state, could they buy pieces of Warner Brothers? True. It's possible. But then I introduced another player, another fighter has entered the arena. Watch out for these Saudis. See, the information has progressed. That's what we're saying. So if you're saying, oh, Comcast and people like that, yeah, I reported that a couple years ago. What's the update? I'm telling you this now. Watch the Saudis. Okay. And we're going to update that more going forward. See, I don't know what these other people, what they were reporting or what sourcing they had with that, but I mean, that was me and Mikey Sutton very early talking about Comcast, NBC Universal. I'm giving you the update to that story, the sourcing I had 3 to 4 years ago. Now, nah. Universal, they're not buying Warner Bros. As is. They could buy pieces, but I will look for those Saudis before that. For real. But let's get to this Gunn. Yeah, this Gunn cosplay that's going on with that. Now I've said this, and I know again. And I said, I know. I've been this regular streaming. We're gonna be back regular because I gotta regulate a few things here. So I get it where people are just jumping to different conclusions. You know, people forget. What was that, 2022? When Matt Reeves' The Batman was coming out, there was people saying they were claiming they were going to boycott Matt Reeves' The Batman. And I said, yo, I'm not going to tell no one not to boycott. I told y'all to support Black Adam, but that didn't work for a lot of people. But as far as boycotting, I'm not going to tell no one not to boycott anything. So if you don't watch James Gunn's universe, don't watch it. But if it makes news, we're going to talk about it, right, on this main channel. Then I got the Deep Dive channel, Superman channel. I got other stuff that's going on in the Geek Network. But so I got no problems people saying, oh, while it's closed and things like that. I think Superman's going to make $550 to $600 million. Matt Reeves' The Batman, people claim they boycotted that and made over $700 million. So either it's going to find its audience or it's not, right? But with this Superman film, the big thing they're trying to sell with this film is the director, of Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, right? They're trying to sell that, and they're hoping they conjure an audience up that's going to support Superman. I think the Superman brand, and again, we got to keep it real. Because I know there's a lot of feelings. I know there's a lot of feelings out there. But, I was at the comic book shop. I went to the free comic book day today, right? I went to my comic shop. And the biggest racks out there, obviously Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman. And Wonder Woman was right there as well, too. I'm going to give Wonder Woman some love. She's part of the Trinity. But the Superman is a top 3 CBM, just logo, brand, overall. I think that's going to give this film enough juice to be like, oh, Superman, the logo. Yeah, but go to the movies now. People say, oh, Superman Returns was an L in the box office. Yeah, but how long ago was that, man? Right now, after Marvel blew up, that made it, attainable for all superhero IPs, especially the major ones. Now, Avengers is up there now as far as recognizable. That's going to be a conversation we're going to have. after Avengers Doomsday comes out and Secret Wars, is Avengers a top 3 superhero IP? That's going to be a conversation. You're not passing Batman or Superman. I'm sorry, Batman and Spider-Man. Can Avengers supplant Superman? That's a fair argument. But right now, Superman's coming out before the next Avengers film. And I think Superman will have at least enough juice. And then you couple that's the brand recognition. You have the name recognition with James Gunn. And this guy's not James Gunn, but I just have his picture up here. And I think that's going to be enough to get this film to 550, 600 million. We're going to find out, right? I mean, hey, people love replaying my box office predictions. So, hey, I stand by this. I think it's going to make enough money. I really do believe it is. And we'll see. Batman, Spider-Man, print money. Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man 3, Raimi, Spider-Man 3 was a bad film. I think that's a bad film. You got some people, some of my journalist friends, some of my Shield friends, they defend Spider-Man 3 up to this day. My mouth was open watching. I'm like, why did you mess up Venom like this? Right? Another story. But Batman, Spider-Man makes money. It does. It does. And if it's a halfway decent film, you'll even really make some money. But let's get into what this was it? Spider-Man 3 is better than Tom's trilogy? No Way Home. No, I got to call a little cap. Right here. Hold up, W. Oh, hold up. No. You're good. No. No Way Home went hard, bro. You can't. No. I know it had the Doctor Strange stuff, the first act. W, you cannot stand on this. I want you to not stand on this one right here. Spider-Man 3 is not better than No Way Home, bro. It's not. No, it's probably not better than Homecoming. Far From Home is a little mixed. I like the Mysterio parts, but that was an uneven film to me. Let's see. Only watch because of Toby. But you like, so that's what I'm saying, bro. You know you like No Way Home better than Raimi, Spider-Man 3. Come on now. I can't, bro. I can't stand with you on that one. Let's talk about Superman though, because I'm gonna get to this. It's all good, bro. This came out, right? And again, I didn't get a chance to really stream with y'all during the week when this came out and my thoughts. I did tweet about it. I think I was in some message groups and I kind of talked about what I heard with this. And a lot of people questioned, me being a confirmation specialist, because that's where I started off. I didn't start being some scooper. I started off hunting down if this is true or not, right? And then I networked and people just give me information. Like all my scoops with Thunderbolts hit. I'm pretty sure everything I said about Fantastic Four is going to hit. Superman the same. But people so used to my Snyderverse stuff, they don't realize we've been putting in work for some years here. So it is what it is. So when this story dropped here, Superman, bizarre plot rumor, super-ish hate campaign and mutant monkeys. This is what we want to talk about today. Woo! And we 2 hours into this stream, and this is really what I wanted to talk about the whole time. But I got to cover different stories. But let's buckle up for this one because this is an interesting. Smash the like. Make sure you still subscribe. If you over here on YouTube, make sure you still subscribe. X Twitter. Like it, share it. All right, get comfortable. It's a very interesting take I'm gonna have with this. But the first thing, did someone pull this out of their anus? and maybe some embellishments. You got some anonymous scoopers who they want to, rattle fan bases. So I think they kind of embellish a little bit with this, but the core of this, let's read about this. It says in the movie, Superman is frustrated by social media backlash with the hashtag superish being mentioned several times as really getting under his skin. W. Mirror, you wild. You wild. Hey, stay tuned. So let's take that first part. The social media backlash campaign. I cannot say right now that that's actually the hashtag they're going to use in the film. I can't, I'm gonna be honest, I was not able to verify that hashtag is going to be in the film. I will be a little surprised. This summer, July 11th, 2025, I pull up, and watch the I may see it a little early, but I see the Superman film, hashtag super shit. I don't know if that's going to be in it, but we'll see. We'll see. But is there a social media backlash on Superman? Yes. That's in the film. That's part of the backlash. I believe it's connected with that whole fictional country and things like that, right? So, and we covered this behind the scenes last summer, where there's some kind of tragedy that happens in Metropolis, right? So they may blame that on Superman, right? So we covered a lot with this. If that's the hashtag, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. It says, meanwhile, Lex's interdimensional world, pocket universe. Let's start getting used to calling this a pocket universe. Hundreds of mutant monkeys are shown typing furiously at keyboards, flooding social media with hate against Superman. So first thing I want to put out there, because I want to make sure people are educated with this, I want Snyder fans, my fellow Snyder fans, to understand what's being weaponized against you. Yeah. This is not merely just, some type of joke. This is in the film. The mutant monkeys, yeah, that's real. Mutant monkeys is real. Now, there's different parts of this, but okay, let's talk about what's actually there. Okay, mutant monkeys. That's Silver Age Superman. All right. Now, I'm more of a Bronze Age Superman. I'm more of Bronze Age, Death of Superman, right? That's when I really started reading Superman comics. So Silver Age, yeah, you're going over my ear. I went back and read some of this stuff. That's not really my jam. I mean, All-Star Superman is recognized as a, stepstone type of Superman comic. Not my jam, right? This is what it is. But mutant monkeys, like, this is something Lex has done before. This dude, Marvin J. y'all just be so Silver Age Superman. That is the target of what James Gunn is doing with this film. I know that's weird. I know. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing, bro? Y'all ain't gonna hide no more. That's just weird on purpose. But so we know Gunn is going to use Silver Age stuff. Lex has used, again, mutant monkeys in the comics. So we want all these trials of Lex Luthor thrown at Superman. That's what this film is. So yes, it's going to be a very small part. This is why I want to make it very clear. Yeah, this is true. Someone asked me on Twitter. I was like, no, the mutant, no, this is real. Again, the whole super-ish stuff, I'm not sure. There is an online campaign against Superman in the film, yes. And it's tied to mutant monkeys. I don't believe Grodd, no. Just to answer that in the chat, I don't believe Grodd is a part of that. No. This is something, again, it was a Silver Age Superman run where Lex literally used advanced monkeys. All right. No, get ready. Hey, W Mir. And you gonna watch this film though, ain't you? You gonna watch James Gunn's Superman. Just to see. No, this is real. It's such a small part of the story, but it's a real thing. And again, Gunn is trying to honor the Silver Age. What Snyder fans are not, majority are not understanding, and these anonymous dummies online are not realizing, is that this whole online social media backlash, W Rear as well. This whole backlash has been set up probably since this film started filming. James Gunn said as soon as he got the job, James Gunn tweeted out, "Oh, this DC fan base is a fractious bunch." Who is he talking about? What's fractious in DC? We all got that point in time. Man of Steel, BVS. So James Gunn was setting this up the entire time. I'm gonna fill y'all in on what's going on with this. So, you gotta have the good guys and the bad guys is what they're trying to set up for DC. And it seems like people are falling into this. Who broke the story of this? I'm gonna slow walk this one. Who? Let me know in the chat, because I didn't break this story. I don't even aim to be first on anything. Like, you had an anonymous scooper break the whole Jor-El Bradley Cooper, right? That's an anonymous account. And they broke that story, just to save face. Long story. Who broke the Mutant Monkeys online campaign story? An anonymous scooper. Okay. So this is technically a spoiler. Now, like when I said, Ben's and Aquaman, that was a spoiler. And then Momoa, that story blew up so crazy in 48 hours, Momoa confirmed me. The Cavill scene in Black Adam, that was a spoiler. But The Rock and his camp, they wanted to keep that. They didn't want to confirm it, but he hinted at it the entire time with that. Who wants this story out there? This is what I want to ask. This is what I want to ask people. Of all things, of all things to put out there about this film, there's several things in this film that could have been put out. The what they set up at the end of this film, I sort of hinted towards that. They could have embellished on the crypto aspect of this film. That could have been put out there. What else? I guess a full Lex arc that could have been put out. They decide this? Why? See, this is why James Gunn may be a step ahead of some of his enemies online. I'm gonna explain. Oh man, you got some people now. First off, okay, let's back this up. So I have a nice eclectic viewership on this platform, and it's spread over to other platforms where there's people that obviously Snyder fans. That's where I started, and that's where we're going to continue to talk about Snyder production. I'm the only channel that really pumped Rebel Moon numbers. I'm still waiting on someone else to. I think a few people chimed in on what I said about Rebel Moon being successful. No one else was celebrating that. This is what it is. So I put out the information what I put out. But then you have with what James Gunn is doing right now. He is trying to draw the line. And I said this months ago. It started with the David Ayer article. Y'all remember this? I may have to put. I should have had this ready already. David Ayer. They use Ayer as some kind of proxy to come at Snyder fans. And this was months ago. And when I say you got to understand the machine and what it means, this is what I'm talking about. We're going to have to educate some people today. Your online etiquette. And you can choose whatever you want to do, but I want you to understand how they're going to paint you when July 2025 comes around. Okay? So, Ayer was talking about the Ayer cut some months ago. And then you had these trades, and even this, I guess this is more of like a geek site, getting backlash from Zack Snyder fans for the most ridiculous reason. And this was picked up. This was picked up by trades. This is probably when they try to shut down my stream. Hold up. What you're not understanding, W Mirror, it's not about, again, I cover this in real time. So you ain't got to tell me what's debunked or what's true. I stream every week. It's about the headlines. It's about the headlines. I was there in the middle. And again, see, this one they want to shut me down. See? We got real. We got real, and all of a sudden I got some connection issues. It's wild. I just want to put it out there that, like, I never need anyone to inform me what's debunked, what's true. I receive articles every day. I receive information every day. I never need anyone to inform me. I'm putting out there that this is the game that's being put against the Snyder fandom. This is what I'm trying to make very clear. And then you're falling for an anonymous scooper trying to tell you, hey, hashtag this. Hashtag this. Go ahead. I saw someone say, oh, we're going to hashtag this July 11th. Why are you falling for this? When they're trying to paint you, they're trying to paint the fandom. Now, again, you can choose and decide how you want to progress and talk online and things like that. But I'm telling you, I asked you first, who put this story out there first? And you talk about it's backfiring. How's this backfiring? Please tell me this. WBD stocks has risen, not because of any film information, not about any movie announcement or trailer. It's because of the tariffs and the fact that Warner Bros. Discovery and their shareholders know that it could potentially be sold in the next year or two. It's not about some James Gunn announcement. The stocks didn't rise because of sinners. It rose because of the tariffs. Warner Bros. Discovery is not merely a movie company. There's movie, cable, DC, theme park, comic books, news channels. No one film will sway the stock market either way. And I've seen people talk about this for years. Let me just kind of say it in plain English. I saw some people say because Zack Snyder got the 300 prequel, the stocks went up for Warner Bros. Discovery. No, that's not why the stocks went up. Their stocks have been volatile ever since it merged with Discovery. No James Gunn film is going to change that. You had the Wonka film, you had the Dune films. No one talk. I'm trying to bring y'all to reality with this and how you're being, as far as the fandom being painted. One announcement that he'll even. Oh no, yeah, W Mirror. You've been here long enough, bro. You've been on these streams long enough to know. No announcement that James Gunn has made has helped the stocks. No. But I'm saying no movie announcement has helped the stocks. That's what I'm saying. So if we can agree on that, and then let's go forward as far as with the reality of the situation, this will make more sense. James Gunn, the title of my stream here, his revenge on his haters. There is a meta joke in the film that he wants to highlight the Snyder fandom or anyone that's hating on the James Gunn film. That's in the Superman film. You allow an anonymous scooper to introduce a hashtag, and I see people planning to trend that hashtag in July. For what? Your best weapon, if you don't want this James Gunn Superman film to succeed, is to ignore it. Like when Peacemaker came out, I didn't talk about it after episode 3 because I thought it was trash. But the people that was fans of it, they watched it. Some of my viewers, y'all like Peacemaker. And I was like, oh, sylabdul, I like Peacemaker. I was like, I don't. Starting a trending event against a film does not make that film fail. And the back and forth. This is what I'm trying to reach minds out here right now. Because again, I know people gonna write. I never try to be like, oh, you should write like this because you're going to do whatever you want to choose with this film. if you think trending this is going to make this film fail, I'm saying you're falling right into the trap. But you could choose accordingly. Flickflix Nitflix says, this is why the Snyder fandoms need to end the back and forth with gun nuts, enthusiasts, cultists, those that worship at the Church of Gun. They need to fall. They need to fall, guys. Something to blame it on this fall. It's in the film. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This thing right here, this is real. Again, the hashtag, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're going to do the super-ish stuff. But yes, Gunn is coming for the fractious DC fan base in the Superman film. If you think constantly talking about it every day is going to make this film fail, I don't know how you come to that conclusion. Let's see, W. Let's get both sides of this, right? Let's get both sides of this. Let's see. The more they paint Snyder fans as this, the more they're going to find out. Well, hey, you know what? This is probably the truest thing you said. All stream, W. Because see, people gotta understand. On my platform, I like the 360 conversation. When I was pushing Black Adam and saying, yo, support Black Adam, Cavill, there were some saying, nah, not rocking with that theme music, right? There's people when I was saying, I was like, yo, I'm saying, yo, you probably should support this. This is Cavill Superman. And people's like, I don't know. He ain't got the black suit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't rocking that, that right music. I was like, nah, I disagree, but you do what you do. Right. So it is what it is. I'm never here to tell people what they should do. I'm going to champion what I'm going to champion. And I'm saying right now, the Snyder fandom is being put up on this pedestal to be the target of the Superman film. Now, you can decide to stay on that pedestal, or you could be like, oh, you know what? Hey, if I ain't with this film, forget that film. But you're allowing a anonymous scooper who's not a Snyder fan. This same anonymous scooper came at my Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck scoops. But when they want clicks, they know to tell Snyder fans, oh, hate on this. Yeah, restore Snyderverse. Yeah. And people continue to fall for it. What we got in the chat? Here? Let's see, W. Mirror. I'm glad W. Mirror's here because, like I said, you stand on what you standing on, so I respect it. Bad publicity is good publicity is not working. But I'm just saying, like, this was literally coordinated by a scooper who's not a Snyder fan. They were pushing back on the Snyderverse continuing for years. All the stories I put out, they've pushed back on. And now all of a sudden hey, this is a new hashtag. And you got Snyder fans saying, oh, let's trend this. Like, come on, bro. Let's see. Hey, I'm gonna cover everything. So the first thing on my platform, I'm gonna give you informative and objective and dynamic analysis of all CBM Geek news. If Superman is a topic for the week, James Gunn Superman, we're going to talk about it. If it fails, crash, and burns, we're going to stop talking about it. So Superman obviously is a topic worldwide. No matter if you want to watch it or they want to watch it. I don't just talk about stuff. Like you see me, you think I will leave this stream with Andor? You're not talking about Andor. But you're talking about Sinners and Thunderbolts. So don't get it twisted what I cover. I cover what's actually being talked about on my timeline, because I know that represents a lot of different voices. So let's keep that real. If James Gunn does numbers, I'm going to talk about it. If it fails the first week, I'm going to give James Gunn Superman the first week. If it makes numbers, we're going to talk about it. I'm just going to tell you the future right now. If it bombs the first week, we definitely going to talk about it. And then after that, the story's done. So don't, like I said, don't get twisted what I cover. Let's see. Fernando says Superman's in good hands. For sure, for sure. Let's see. Hold up. How am I mad at y'all? When did I get mad about y'all joke? No, I'm saying that's Silver Age stuff. See, that's the thing. I do this in video in real time, so you can see what I actually said. That's the thing. On Twitter, you know what I'm saying? People just think, oh, I'm just going to say this and it's true. Nah, I'm saying that's Silver Age stuff. I think at the same time I say I'm more Bronze Age, that's the Superman type of era. I'm not Silver Age Superman. So you can get mad and joke about this all you want. I've been doing this for years. So I don't get mad at what you laugh and joke. Now, if you just unjustly attack Zack Snyder, then yeah, I do get upset about that. I know you don't do that. So don't misrepresent what I'm doing here. That's what I'm saying. You could make fun of whatever film you want to do. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I can enjoy. Again, I like the Joker folly I do. And I guarantee more than half of my viewership did not like that film, because the cinema score was a D+. But I'm still going to stand on what I like. But don't misrepresent what I did. Saying I'm mad at you joking about it. What are you talking about? I joked about it on Twitter. So I'm just saying, I don't stand for that. I like open opinion, but don't misrepresent what I do. Don't do that. Nah. That's enough of that. You got these out of context screenshots on Twitter misrepresenting what I do when I'm telling you in plain English what I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, don't do that. There's a lot of talk about Haley Steinfeld. No, don't do that. I did a whole stream. You don't understand my problem. My problem is that you're being set up, W. Mir, to look like the bad guy, July 11th. Now, you could choose to be. You could choose to trend the hashtag that Anonymous Scooper told you to trend and look like however you're going to look like. But what I'm going to choose to do is say, oh, the marketing, if the marketing is bad, I'm going to talk about it. If that sneak peek, if crypto went on a little bit too long, I'm going to critique that. What I'm not going to do is just take what some anonymous scooper tries to hand off to me as a Snyder fan and just run off and do their bidding. Because that's what I'm seeing too many Snyder fans doing. You fall into the same trap. That's why I said with Air. That's why I pulled that up earlier. I'm trying to walk y'all through this. But hey, it's going to land with whoever it's going to land with. When I'm telling you the machine is setting you up to be the fall guy, that's exactly what I mean. Look at this. Let's go. You know what? This message is not going to land with everyone. Whoever it lands with, you get what I'm saying. W. Mir chooses violence and hostility. And that is what it is. But W. Mir, I want you to know, though, because again, I appreciate your support. I want you to know. Don't say, "Oh, I felt some kind of way" because you're making fun of this. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Because I'm telling you in real time. Defending. See, that's what I'm saying. You say I'm defending this? I'm saying, yo, don't get caught with the okie doke. Don't fall for the bait. That's what I'm saying. Definitely, whatever's true, the bad marketing, the extra crypto stuff. Obviously, you make fun of that. I just said this in real time. Don't fall for this hashtag campaign by someone that doesn't even rock with the fandom. That's what I'm saying. See, do you say I'm defending? Like, don't say that. Don't say I'm defending this. I'm saying it's true. Yeah. They're doing this online campaign and they want to broadcast this in the film. If something comes off, there's some kind of wacky, like the cross-eyed stuff. This here, I still got that pick. Yeah, that was a time to roast. But when an anonymous scooper tries to give you some hashtag to trend, don't fall for the okie doke. That's what I'm saying. Talking about defending this, like what? I'm just saying, bro. I can't say it any clearer than this. You using the wrong words. Y'all be giving them traction while discrediting yourself. That's the point. And again, it's gonna land with whoever it needs to land with. That's the point. Yes, the online campaign against Superman in the film is true. But don't become what James Gunn is trying to paint the Snyder fandom. The best thing the Snyder fandom can do, those of the Snyder fandom, if you're not rocking with the Superman film, the best thing is actually to not talk about it. That's what I'm saying. Me, I'm going to always give DC a chance. I've been very consistent for 5 years doing this content. If it's good, I'm going to talk about it. If it's trash, I felt Peacemaker was trash. I talked about it. And then I moved on. Shazam 2, trash. I actually like the Flash film. Blue Beetle, I wouldn't mind watching that once in a while. Not every couple months and then like that. No. Aquaman 2 is actually a decent film. But anyway, this is one of the clearest setups I've ever seen on social media for specifically the Snyder fan base. Oh, and then you got who was that? Was it Chris Gore? He's saying, "Oh yeah, I hear in the film that going at the Snyder cut." What he meant to say, and again, he's gonna probably come back and clean that statement up. He was like, "Oh, they're going to the Snyder cult because they think this is what he's talking about." And you got people that just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna jump right into hashtag super-ish." I'm saying don't hashtag that, bro. Like don't do that to yourself based off of an anonymous scooper. W. Mirror says, "I'm relying too much on bad publicity is good publicity. You don't understand that there are nuances and limiters to that." So, W. Mirror, you think if you hashtag super-ish, that's going to defeat this film? I just want to understand, because before I close this out, I want to understand. I want to understand why jump on this and be like, oh yeah, let's hashtag this. Yeah. We want this film to fail. Yeah, yeah, you can want this film to fail all you want. Just like Furiosa. That film failed because not enough people was talking about it. I talked about it on my channel. Not enough audience watched it. That's how films fail. Not by constantly talking about it every week. ASAP said, where there's smoke, there's fire. Explain, ASAP. Explain. Please explain. Where there's smoke, there's fire. That's the most general thing I've seen. Okay, see, most have seen, haven't been hashtagging it. We just think it's funny. So you're missing everything I've said up to this point. Is obviously I got my jokes. I just had to cosplay James Gunn. So what are we saying? Like, obviously, if there's stuff to clown, we're going to clown. I'm saying that anonymous story that's not fully confirmed. Yes, the mutant monkey stuff is true. The online campaign is true. I'm saying James Gunn is basically trying to position his haters, aka I guess Snyder fandom. Chris Gore comes out and says, "Oh yeah, I'm hearing the Snyder cult, Snyder cut's going to be joked about." You know, listen to weirdos like Nerdrotic and these racist people and stuff like that. Nah, that's how far we're gonna go. Hey, you hate James Gunn that much? You gonna retweet a racist? Like this one, bro? This film, I promise you this. This film's gonna do whatever it's going to do, no matter how many YouTubers you think is on your side. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying by just my experience with films and Blockbuster and branding for the last 5 years, I'm telling you, I think what this film's going to do. It's obviously not working. What's your data though, W. Mir? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we can talk about what we want to happen all day. You have no data. You just have your mutuals on Twitter. Y'all, and I hate to say it like this, but a lot of similar thought people said they were boycotting Matt Reeves' Batman. They made over $700 million. After the Penguin series, it's going to be over $1 billion next time Matt Reeves does a Batman film. So what are we really doing here? That's the question. That's going to land with whoever it needs to land with. But I'm going to cover how I cover things. If it succeeds, if it fails. I covered all the Warner Brothers films this year. Mickey 17, bomb. Alto Nights, bomb. Minecraft film. Oh. Sinners, a phenomenon. I didn't see that phenomenon coming for Sinners. I thought, yeah, a couple $100 million would be cool. Let's see. Too many raspberries being spoiled. Too many negativity on this film. We can't ignore the who don't care about this new DC showing none watch. I mean, ASAP. I mean, again. Let me preface it with this, because we're gonna start closing this out, because I don't gotta repeat myself. 5 years of content. I don't gotta repeat myself right now. What I would have wanted to happen was after Zack Snyder's Justice League, you make part 2 and part 3, right? What has happened is you had to change your regimes, and now you have this reboot. Well, actually, to change the regimes, and then Black Adam was trying to bring you Cavill Superman. That didn't land. Again, I'm talking about what happened. What I want to happen, I preface with that. What actually happened, we had one shot to get Henry Cavill back at that time. And a lot of people didn't support Black Adam. So they rebooted. Now we got the James Gunn Superman film. That's what's actually happening. Now, will people reject that film? We have to see. What we can't do is make up stuff. The trailer event this past December was successful. The teaser of the trailer was successful. The 5-minute preview was ahead of the biggest film of this year so far, Minecraft movie. So there's more eyes on Superman at that time. So to just say, oh, it's just going to fail because I don't like James Gunn, that actually doesn't work. It just doesn't. If actual information comes out and I will cover that in real time, then that's what we'll talk about. But the way this is tracking off of the demographics that, you got women and children like crypto, the Superman brand is a real thing. You got the Silver Age bros. We'll see. I mean, that's a generation or two before me. We'll see if that's going to translate. But we're just going off our own emotions. That's the thing. You can't say the trailer showed up before Rise of, what was that? Revenge of the Sith, but not acknowledge it was ahead of Minecraft. You see what I'm saying? I don't do that over here. I know there's probably other platforms that confirmation biasness and things like that. Let's see. Who told you since this was going to? Who told me? Who told me? We gotta start closing this out, bro. I gotta get ready for this. I got you, W. I gotta get ready for this sports stream because y'all all over the place, bro. ASAP says I would have been okay if we had the Snyderverse tone permanently in DC. Me too. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, even if I prefaced it with that, you still didn't hear me say that. DC hires James Gunn to try to do something in that universe. What I'm trying to prepare in ASAP in the chat, I want to prepare my viewers with the truth, right? This is what's actually happening. Again, last year, people was telling me, oh, this film won't be made. I was like, no, I'm hearing this. They're definitely going to make Superman. And on top of that, they're going to make 4 or 5 more projects. What you about to get? You're going to get Superman. You're going to get Peacemaker. You're going to get Lanterns. You're going to get Supergirl. You're going to get Clayface. They tried to do Sergeant Rock. They're going to push it to 2026, I guess, or to production. So it's not about what I want to happen. It's about what's actually happening. We could do these fairy tales all day. Oh, Warner Bros. Is going to sell to Comcast. I told you that 3 years ago. Then I updated you. You feel me? So I want to deal with reality. If something actually is going to be canceled, we'll talk about it. We could wish all day. We can get in a prayer circle and conjure up whatever we think we want to do. I'm going to talk about what I'm actually hearing, what's actually happening. That's what I do, right? And that's been since day one. See, again, I had people saying, oh, Snyder fan, they thought I was giving y'all fairy tales. All right. And I stood on it. And it's been confirmed. So what I'm telling you now, this is, again, I know most of y'all, more than 70% of y'all, they didn't know my Thunderbolts scoops, my Fantastic Four stuff that's about to come up as well. So y'all don't know. We've been doing this for years now, though. So don't. I'm just saying. Let's see. Let's catch up here. We're going to close out last minute comments and questions. Throw it in the chat. We got to close this out, man. I got to get ready for the sports stream at 9 o'clock, 9:30-ish. I got to go eat. Then me and Carlos will be on the Night Views channel and his channel, I believe, as well, too, talking some sports for sure. WB had 2 consecutive home runs, soon to be there. Thunderbolts makes a lot of money. Oh, yeah, man. Hey, DeLuca Abbey, that's going to be an interesting conversation up to next year. For sure. There you go. You're right. It didn't have bad publicity. Okay. So that's I have one more. No. I'm not gonna let you. W. I'm not gonna let no. I'm not gonna let you say Snyder fans weren't boycotting Matt Reeves the Batman. Do I gotta pull up? I'm gonna pull up the old videos, bro. We go pull up this up. Bro. This was a real conversation in 2022. In real time, bro. They was like, no, y'all didn't do Ben Affleck's Batman. We boycotting. And it made over 700 million. So all I'm saying, now the bad marketing, yeah, I agree with you on that. Matt Reeves' Batman had better marketing than James Gunn's Superman has. I agree with you on that. But don't say fans weren't trying to say they were boycotting that. Don't say that. I got video. All right, we can pull it up. YouTube, they released some of my old video. I know, see, that's what happens when YouTube locks up my old videos. People act like it didn't happen. We're gonna unlock those. All right. We're gonna unlock these old videos so people know. It's all good. It was a small portion. So who is a large portion now boycotting James Gunn Superman? Please let me know. It's the same people, same faces I saw in 2022. It's the same accounts the same accounts you following on Twitter, the same ones that was coming. No, it's all good. Hey, don't even worry about it, bro. We gotta start closing this out. Oh man. See, this how you make my day when Sherry shows up. We got a movie to catch up on. Sherry, let me see. Hold up. Do I still got my drop? I don't got my Sherry drop no more. Oh, here we go. I have to make sure. When I get put on the spot, I gotta deliver. I got to deliver when Sherry show. I'm just saying. That was a must. But we gotta start closing this out because W. Greer said he got to put out names. I ain't trying to have you put out no names, bro. We gonna close this out, but going forward, as I mentioned, I got the interview coming out with the Culture Nerd, which I'm really excited for y'all to check this out during the week. That's gonna be released during this week coming up. Definitely, if there's any pop-up coffee talks, it'll be early AM Eastern Standard Time on this channel as well. Check out the entire Slabdul Geek Network for sure. Let's catch up with the chat before we head on out. Because, bro, I wasn't trying to have him snitch on nobody or nothing. Let's see here. VEGA. It was definitely a boycott of Batman just because Batman was still successful. I don't believe that means Superman will be. Oh, no, that was a good thing. VEGA always has that counterpoint because he's a Celtics fan. I said Batman and I'm a Lakers fan. He has a bigger general audience. No, I agree. My point with people saying, we're going to boycott Superman. My thing is that I still think there's an audience for it in that the same ones that was boycotting Matt Reeves' Batman, I don't think that's going to translate as much. I think Superman has an audience. I think James Gunn, name recognition, Superman brand recognition, I think is going to get this film to 550 to 600. I believe that's what it's going to do. So interesting stuff. Appreciate all the festive feedback for those. And again, James Gunn defending himself. He's trying to paint a target on the fandom's back. And all I'm saying is that there's ways to, if you want this film to fail, there's ways to do it. not following some anonymous scooper who hates Snyder fans, actually. So we're gonna slide on out of here. Appreciate everyone checking us out. And let's see. I think we're going to what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do a cold close. I don't have a real closing. 450. What we got? 450. I think at least 550. I think at least 550 to 600. I don't see this doing. It'll definitely do better than Brave New World. I think Thunderbolts will get 600. I think Superman can get 600. So we shall see. Much love to Sil Nation. Appreciate y'all checking out this Saturday stream. Not quite Zack Snyder level. We had 3 hours, not 4. Link in the description for sylabdul Sports. And we got the Night View stream coming up, sports, later tonight. Much love. We out.